Sorry. You got it. Sorry. Wait. It's all good. I think it's fine.
Yes, it's good. Okay.
Is there plates or just napkins? I'll put, give me one in the napkin, I'll take one.
Sorry. I'm sure you know what I do. Big in space.
Oh, it's still warm. So you just brought it from there?
Yeah.
Good evening, everybody. Good evening.
Are you gonna start the tape?
Yes. Good evening, Michelle. Good evening, Stephanie. Cynthia here. Good evening, Cynthia.
Good evening, everyone.
My name is Anthony. This is our executive committee meeting. I'm the president of the Regional Neighborhood Council. It's 7:01. I'm marked down on my agenda. We'll be calling our meeting to order. This agenda is the first time I'm actually seeing it, and I'm sure it has been distributed, but I'm going to try to follow along as best as possible. I do have some questions about it, but we'll be following this agenda, and we'll be taking our recommendations from the committee. And tonight's meeting basically is agenda setting for our September 6th general board meeting. This body only takes action on items that are before it, but the full board is the one who takes positions so that the LA 32 Neighborhood Council hears those items before the full board. Thank you. Item number 1 is our call to order and our roll call. I'll start with my left. Cynthia Sandoval?
Yes, I'm here.
Yes, Jackie Carrillo.
Present.
I'm Anthony Manzano. To my right, we have Michelle Farsantes.
Present.
And to the far right is Stephanie Escobar. We do have all 5 officers here this evening. Quorum is 3 of the 5, so we have quorum to continue business. I do not see the Pledge of Allegiance on there, so I'm going to include it as part of item number 1, which we'll do at this time. Before we close item number 1, we call to order and taking a roll call.
This is the agenda for 7 o'clock.
So please stand.
You can do a speaker card if you have one. I don't know if there's one.
Let me look at my briefcase, okay? As we travel a lot, so I don't know if I have
Ready? Begin.
I
pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. That will close item number 1, and we now move to item number 2. Item number 2 is an opportunity for the stakeholders to provide public comments. I usually offer 3 minutes for public comments. This document does say 2 minutes, so I'd like to just strike that and add that the public comments will be allowed 3 minutes per speaker for those who wish to speak to us on non-agenda items. Who you wish to speak at this time? Okay. Let me just like this. Your name?
Yvonne Kachu.
Okay.
So you can, this could be to the
I put Y-V-O-N-N-E. Yvonne?
With an I.
It's
That's okay.
IVONNE.
Oh,
Yeah.
so the I.
With a stand, I've never done this before.
Go ahead.
I emailed you.
That was you, thank you.
And
Good evening.
Good evening. Okay, so my name is Yvonne, and I know that it's not an agenda item, obviously, but I'd like to be put on the agenda for next time, if possible. So I'm a stakeholder here in the Sedano, I have to read because I might get nervous. In the Western, and I'm already feeling emotional. In the Western region, the Alpha 50 in Huntington, and I've been living there for going on 8 years. Then we bought the house because I was pregnant. My daughter felt like a really good place to be, and I'm here to express my concern to you guys to help me advocate. The issue being that there's a street mechanic who's been active there for now as long as I've been there, and the problem being that there's no street cleaning on 50th. Therefore, he has about 4 big, gigantic 60s, like Ford trucks that he uses as public storage, which has now become like a junkyard. It's attracting rodents and like poop, like on my driveway and stuff. It's attracting a day. If we go there now, there are people drinking out on the sidewalk, blocking the sidewalk. this is a daily basis thing. In addition to the cars that he owns, he has usually about 3 to 5 cars that he's working on. And I have my daughter who's now 7 years old. She's grown up knowing not to exit the car on the right-hand side because they have no fence or nothing. It's just a green lawn. She's scared to go out that side because there's just men littered across the front yard. And I've emailed Jose Huizar's office. I've emailed and I've talked to police officers. But in the last email that I can trace back to is 2013. It started before that, and nothing has happened. There's just yesterday, I had to step outside and actually show my face to one of the men that doesn't live there, but is always there because there was a young girl walking with shorts, and one of his friends walked across the street with a tall boy just to walk behind her and look at her. And I had to open my door, go outside, and let him know I was watching him. And that's just disgusting. Nothing has happened yet, but I, as a female, don't feel comfortable. I can't walk down the street on my side of the street because they're parked. They're on it. I can't walk up towards Huntington to the businesses because he's attracted men who now sleep in their trucks and they've sprawled out across the street. I've sent pictures. You saw the pictures. I don't know if I sent the pictures to you all, but I can do that. So I'm asking for help. I'm asking to be pointed in the right direction of what I can do today. Just today, I got an email back from the SLO, Frank Dominguez, and I got an email from Ruby Flores, and I got an email from Julio Torres who said that one of the businesses actually complained now because it's gotten to a ridiculous point, but it's taken this long. 2013 that I could trace back to. I'd have to go back to my other emails and see so that's why I'm asking you to put on the agenda, so maybe we can discuss it and also just to see where it's going. Yeah? Thank you for your time.
Just so you know, and I don't know if you've been here before, during your public comment period, we allow you your time to speak and we usually don't interact. But after that, we allow board members announcements and that's the time when we could probably address some of your issues. But you might see that we're probably not answering your questions right now. We're really not allowed to.
Yeah.
I just want to let you know that. But just give me about 3 or 4 more minutes, and then on my side, which will be right on the agenda, we'll speak on it, and I'll give you some answers right now.
Okay, thank you.
Did you wish to mention?
No, I'm just,
anything?
I'm just on the Lincoln Heights Neighborhood Council, so I encouraged her to come and talk to you guys, so I just wanted to come support her.
Do we have any other stakeholders that wish to address the committee at this time? No other stakeholders? Item number 2, public comment period is, actually, I'm not going to close it. The reason is because on here I don't see board members' announcements or committee members' announcements, which gives us an opportunity as officers to make announcements, speak on things that are coming up in the community. So as part of item 2, which I'm not going to add a number, but I'm going to include committee member announcements just before we close this item. Committee announcements. And that'll give us an opportunity to address the committee with anything that might be coming up in the community that's not on the agenda. So I'll start with my left. Cynthia, do you have any announcements this evening?
CERT's coming up September the 7th.
Yes, I was going to mention that. Thank you very much.
Also, there's I believe it's a training for funding that's coming up as well. I don't have the exact date. I have to go into my phone and look at it. So if anybody needs to do the funding training or would like to do it in person, they're going to have it at the City Hall. I'll give you the information as soon as I find it. And the last thing is there was something else I wanted to talk about. I just can't remember.
We can come back to you before.
Yeah, that'll be
that
fine.
item.
Thank you.
Jackie, do you have anything? Oh, and just so everyone knows that this is our corresponding secretary, vice president, president, treasurer, and recording secretary at the end. So these are our titles. Jackie, did you have any announcements that you want to make?
I signed up for the CERT training that's coming up in September. I saw these at the, I brought some flyers too, at the El Sereno Middle School, and they're a code to for the Shakespeare. It's free, and these are the dates. It's at the Loomis House, so I brought some flyers. Also, El Sereno Community Cleanup is happening, and that's on September 16th. Also, Movies in the Park, which are Sports and Rec is coming as a co-sponsor of Saturday, September 30th. So bring your family and friends out, bring your blankets, your chairs. It's always a great community event.
And your pets, it's for this pet friendly, no?
Yes, pet friendly, and also it's the Secret Life of Pets movie. And that is it.
Thank you, Jackie. And for each of those announcements, you have a flyer?
Yes.
Each of them? Great, great. Michelle, do you have any announcements? to do?
Yeah, I just wanted to share a little bit about the concern that Yvonne has. She actually has included on the email, she included the captain, Captain Ruby Flores and Julio. She does know Ruby is the captain, right?
Yeah, I know that she's the captain and also Miss Sergeant Frank Dominguez also.
Senior
Yeah.
lead officer.
Senior lead.
And she's also included the lieutenant and Zane and
I'm in a meeting.
so if these people are on there, I'm hoping, I mean, just from the emails that I've been reading, I'm hoping they're able to help her because how can we help? Would we be able to write a letter to LAPD and say, hey, support her? Does public safety go out there and do something about it? I mean, it sounds on the emails that Captain Flores did write back to her telling her, you know, they were gonna look into it. And then even Julio replied like she said.
That was today. this morning.
Yeah, I mean, I'm looking at the emails right now. I don't know if Sergeant Dominguez even contacted her or not, or was out there, or has any LAPD physically been out there, you know, taking pictures or checking or what? Is it something where it's gonna turn into, will she have to seek a personal attorney, or can the city of LAPD help her, or how can we help her?
We can help her out basically by reinforcing to the police department, but it would be the police department has to take action. They will be out there enforcing the law. But what the Public Safety Committee can do is hear this issue and maybe recognize that that street 50th, I know exactly where it's at. It's at the intersection where there's a laundromat and the Los Pinos Market on the corner across the street. So that we are aware
Yeah.
and that we would just prepare a resolution, which is just a written document.
And then I know you're like huge on neighborhood watching in the
I was gonna mention
evenings.
that. I was just
So
gonna
maybe
mention
now
that.
that you know about it, because obviously you're not on this email link, but I know you are always with the radio in the evenings watching out more specifically for Rose Hill.
I was just gonna mention that, yes.
You know, maybe that's something that now you can start going more towards that way walking. I'm not saying
No, I-
appointing you, but I'm just saying, because I know that's usually what you do in that area, more in Rose Hills.
Anything else, Michelle? Do you have
No,
any
that's
other-
it.
any
That,
other
that,
input?
no, that was just my input, that's it.
Stephanie, do you have some announcements or something you'd like to mention?
I started school again, so it's just nice to learn more about city planning.
Yeah, and what school is that? El Paso University North, yes. Excellent, excellent. Well, thank you. The announcements that I would like to offer in the two board members on this dimension, it is CERT training. CERT is the Community Emergency Response Team. We did have a meeting just the other day, and this is the first 3 pages, actually here 1, 2, 3. I'm preparing a mobilization and deployment plan for Station 47. I've been involved with CERT for about 10 years now, and involved with the police department for about 7 years. I've taken level 2 CERT training, which is offers 3 levels, and I've also taken level 2 police department training. And what we can do to help out Yvonne with the concern, and I'm very familiar with it because I was, I could say some of the issues maybe moved to your street 15 because I was helping another neighbor on Minto Court, which is 2 blocks over. His name is Scott, and he reached out to me with the very same concerns, the very same vehicles, and within 1 day, I had those vehicles moved. Where did they move to? Your block. So I'm familiar with the truck with all the bikes on it and the tarps above. So as an announcement, what I'd like to mention is as part of Neighborhood Watch Leader, is I will be out there and I will have those vehicles moved probably by this Friday. It might not resolve the problem. I don't go out and approach them. What I do is I use the 311 app. I give the vehicle license numbers on the app. I take a photograph, and then the following day, a little DOT white car will come out and probably just mark the tires. What that does is discourages them from being parked there. So they're probably gonna move back to Minto Court. What I've worked though, is what I've noticed is there's a lot of negative elements, which I would either call drugs and also stealing bikes. The bikes are a big thing. And that's what pushed me to that area, or your area. Because I was informed that that's where they're stealing bikes, they go paint them, they change the handlebars and seats and sell them off. So that's what's going on in that area. What I'm gonna try to do is work with your neighbor who lives on that next block over and ask him if he wants to be more active with Neighborhood Watch. I would encourage you to participate with Neighborhood Watch. And it's not just to reach me, but I am the Neighborhood Watch leader, and I've given multiple trainings. So what I'm going to do is, after I leave the meeting tonight, I'm going to drive down your street. I'm going to go take pictures of the vehicles and use my little 311 app that I have here. And usually that will have someone out there before Friday. I'm not going to say that people are going to move or is going to fix the problem by Friday, but someone will be there by Friday. Then what I'll do is I'm going to follow up with the senior lead officers, which is Frank Dominguez. And I'm sure he's aware of it since he's been attached to the email. And I don't need to inform Captain Flores because she already responded, so she's aware of it. But basically the way the issue is we as neighbors and community members and residents and business owners, we have to step up and say we don't accept this on our communities, on our streets, along our business corridors. I've encouraged every board member to be part of Neighborhood Watch, and it's just something that I'm very adamant about. I dedicate about 3 hours every single day, sometimes not Sundays, but yes, 3 hours every day for Neighborhood Watch. And that's the actions I'm going to be taking to assist you in your concerns, Yvonne. Aside from that, I'd like to give you my phone number, so if you see anything out there, you could reach me, and I accept phone calls from 6 a.m. to midnight. So my phone number is area code 323-220-8978. And hopefully we will be having a Neighborhood Watch training coming up at Hollenbeck this upcoming month, September. I believe they're organizing it with, and I'll probably be another speaker there at that event. So I'm sorry that this issue is actually happening. I don't like that these are occurring in the community, but my position is to try to discourage it, eliminate it, reduce these negative elements, and then find solutions. And my solution is I'm going to be out there with flashlights, looking at them, taking pictures, and submitting that request through the 311 app tonight. So hopefully that helps, okay?
Thank you.
And you might see me, so you know that I'm in a Toyota 4Runner. So you see that guy driving up and down the street, it's going to be me, keeping an eye on your block.
Thank you.
The other announcement is, you mentioned, September 7th is a CERT training, level 1. It's coming up at Our Lady Guadalupe, Rose Hills Church. I believe the classes start at 6, maybe 7, I'm not quite sure. And relating to CERT at 7?
You can sign up.
Oh, yes, 7 to 9:30. And regarding the CERT program, just so the committee here knows, I've been assigned to a Station 47 team leader for at least 10 years now. No, 10 years. And 2010 with the police department, so that's 7 years. So what I'm working on, and I can inform you guys, it's called the CERT Mobilization Planning for and deciding when to deploy. We did have a meeting at the fire department on Monday night, and we're working with a plan of action for CERT members that have taken level 1 training, so that they know where the staging areas are, where they know where the family reunification locations are at, and also where the shelter locations are at. And those CERT members are getting the training so that they can be of service to the community. And I don't have any other announcements.
I have a question before we move on.
Yes,
Are we going to do anything about the 15th anniversary?
did I hear anything about
Are
it?
we going to do anything about our 15th year anniversary? The year is not over yet.
Right, I think the board voted on a date, but that date came and passed in May, and I don't know if we've extended that.
It was May 19th, that's why I'm asking.
Right.
All right, well, we'll talk about that when it
Right,
comes
if the
up.
board wants to, yes, we can, and that's been on the agenda. May, June, July, it's already past reconsideration time, so we might just have to request to be on the agenda again.
All right, thank you.
Anything else for announcements? Anything else announcements over here? Anything else? Okay, item 2 will be closed. We now move to item number 3. It shows on our agenda that there's no old business, so item 3 is closed, and we'll now move to item 4. Item 4 is committee recommendations submitted from the standing committees and ad hoc committees. Do we have any committees that have submitted recommendations tonight?
Yes.
This one, I just want to label it. This is membership and outreach. Okay. Membership and outreach has 2 recommendations. And 1, 2, 3, 4. So. Okay.
So it's two, but
It's
the
two.
second one has 4 parts.
Correct, right. So I'm gonna count them as, I'm still gonna count them as 2, but they have one and one has 4.
4 parts, right.
Right.
Do you guys want to see that? The second recommendation?
This is just from membership and outreach.
She has
So
one from the
there's-
Dreams Panel.
Okay, yeah, so there's any other ones? These are beautification committee, sports and recs, excellent. Okay, so there's one each, so that's 2, 3, 4 items. And then you said you have some as well?
Yeah, she makes copies, don't for everyone.
This is her.
Oh, sorry.
There's some.
Oh, okay.
There you go, pass it on, she makes copies. She makes copies for everybody,
So this is the,
Dreams Panel. It's an email that was sent to the recording secretary.
oh, I see right here.
Yeah.
Okay, down to here, and this is from the agreement.
It was an email, yeah, she printed the email that was sent to.
Okay, so this has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 13 different items. Four, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 13. We have 13 items that have been submitted so far from the committees. We have from the grievance, Ayala Grievance Panel, the Beautification Committee, Sports and Recreation Committee, and the Membership and Outreach Committee. So far I've counted, there's a total of 13 different action items or motions being requested. They will all be placed to the agenda. Let me see, ad hoc panel motions from item being forwarded, yes. Okay, so just make note that there's 13 of them. I have them all in writing. Do we have any other committee recommendations? No other committee recommendations?
Are we going
Let me
to,
mark it down here.
are we going to put them in what number, what order, right now?
Items, yes, we can do that. These
It's
would-
being
these would
projected if you
fall
wanna
under-
see it on
yeah,
the-
These would fall under new business.
I'm trying to go back and see if we've missed anything.
Did
for the new agenda
did you want to
items.
see it through here or through there? It's a draft agenda of September 6th.
Yeah, it's already begun.
It's a draft agenda. Let me show it to you, let me show it to you from the top.
This is
Because
what we've been
this is
doing
what
for
we've
the
been
last
doing.
3 months.
Yeah, we've been projecting it. So what we do, we obviously put draft, we put the watermark draft, so
Oh, I see. yeah,
so we
that
know
one.
it's a draft. Then we put the date, the time, the location. Then we start here with agenda, pledge of allegiance, call to order. We put vacant for the 2 north, because
Yes,
obviously there's a vacant there and there's a vacant there.
Correct.
And we added Anita because Anita wasn't there last month. I don't know why we
Right.
forgot to put her. We forgot to put her, but we added her this time. Then general public comment, you say you want 3?
Correct,
You want 3 or 2?
3.
Okay, but remember, they can't go over 30, because for the
Correct.
bylaws, it's only 30 minutes. Then your president's report is right here, which is to fill in the chairs, or for those, is there another committee you want to appoint on that day?
We'll be going, yeah, there are committees that asked, I think it's on here, we'll probably go over that later.
Okay, so then
Yeah,
we'll,
it's item 11. so
okay, we'll go
that
back to that one.
later.
So then number 6 is the board member announcements, but no action will be
And then
taken. All the departments.
Correct.
Then the approval of minutes, which I guess we'll go back and ask her what she has, because right now we're on recommendations on the committee.
Yeah, we just need the one for August 2nd.
So then, obviously, there's no old business.
August 2nd.
Oh.
We have to add it, I guess, behind July.
Yeah, right here, July. Oh, right here.
Right.
I see what you're saying. So then, because she's gonna be bringing the June, July, and August.
August 2nd.
Can I say something? Those minutes, I need to scan them and upload them to the website. If you could send them to me as a PDF,
Okay. By,
but whenever you have a chance.
okay.
The faster, the sooner, the better.
Yeah, because we're supposed to be putting up according for policy procedure.
And then I'll upload them to the website so people can have access to them.
And then, old business is obviously none, correct?
I have to check what I do. The way I usually do is I got the old agenda
From August 8th.
Yeah,
And I think you
2nd.
guys cleared, no, August 8th, you guys,
Oh, yeah, we did meet
Yeah.
again.
I think you guys finished everything, if I'm
We
correct.
did, and so we have the tallies and
Yeah.
everything.
This is the second, and then this is
You guys took care of that, and of all the things that were on there.
Okay, yes. So, discussion of reflection to the minutes, okay, treasury report, okay, and, yeah, we finished all
We
items.
did everything correct?
Yes,
sir.
Yeah,
Okay.
because he circles everything. Oh, no, he circles it when it's not.
Yeah, he puts a little check.
Yeah, so, yeah, everything's crossed out, everything's crossed out, everything's crossed out, and everything's crossed out except for these two, but that's just minutes and treasury report, which they come every month anyways.
Mhm. Okay.
And we've already added the month too, so.
So then I guess the question we have is, in what order should we put those recommendations? Should we put them by the date, because that's how we've been doing it, been putting it by what event is coming up first,
Time,
that's a
yeah,
priority. Yeah,
Time priorities.
time priority is how we did it. So
we
like
can
that,
turn them off.
you know, if Anthony can look at them and
See
see
which one
which
goes.
one is, which one's coming up soon. But for new business, Anthony, look, right here, shouldn't we first fill in the C before we go into that?
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
usually do those under president's report.
But
It's
they're
not
asking
really-
us not to do it like
Yeah.
that. They're asking us to do it as a separate item on its own.
Yeah, because I was looking at the bylaws, Anthony, and I couldn't find anywhere where it reads that
The
the
president's report.
president's responsibility is to move that, to do that motion. So-
Right, it's really not a motion, I just like to hear it mostly before anything else, because as the president, it is most important that we have a full board. It should be just as important for all board members to realize that we should have a full board before we start conducting any kind of business, so as long as that's first.
Yeah, so let's just make it a separate item.
Mhm.
After your treasurer, your president's report, then you can put it there as new business.
Yeah, after treasurer's report.
Right on.
After,
No, after the president's report.
Well, then comes usually the board members' announcements.
Oh, okay, so what's the first item that we have there? I'm sorry, the first motion that we have
Two.
that's, keep going, all the way down,
I'm gonna scroll down.
Yeah, please.
So the first motion for new business is right here, to fill in the C.
Oh, yeah, that should
That
stay
would be
there.
fine.
Yeah.
Yeah, that should.
Yeah,
stay
it should
That
take
would be
priority
fine.
before any other,
Before
any
anything,
other
because that's
business.
part of, it's just part of like, what do you call it,
Common sense.
operation.
Yeah.
Something
We need to be
full
full
board, yeah.
before we proceed.
Yeah.
Okay, so then, which should be number 11? Which one has a priority on time on the
Filling the North region.
recommendations?
Oh, are we on number 11 already?
Yeah, we're on 11
Yeah.
already, yes.
Okay.
10 has been looked at.
10's been looked at, as you can see, look, it says clearly right there, to fill in 2 vacancies, okay?
Okay.
No, this is for the workout equipment and
Okay,
this is for
okay.
the
This is for October. This is for September.
I think it's the voter engagement, if you ask me.
Yeah, voter engagement has to go first, because it's.
Because they're September 14th.
Yeah, voter engagement must be the first.
I didn't get anything done.
Oh, that's on the executive agenda, so how do we move that one up to number 2?
Oh, it's on here already?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's already on our agenda.
Yeah, we put it on there because,
We're taking it off.
ad hoc voter engagement, needs it on there. They need it on.
For the funding.
They need it for the funding. They need money before they can, it's number,
Oh, number
Yeah.
5 here?
yeah, those committees
But
already
They need
need
money
money.
before
I
they
know what
can
you're
meet.
saying, I know what you're saying.
Yeah.
Just to transfer the money, because the ad hoc voter engagement committee already took the
Yeah,
position.
we already created that committee but we just need to put the money in there now. And because of
That-
time
actually,
sensitive,
that-
budget and finance
Moving the
committee.
money, I think that comes under the treasurer's report.
No, I can't move the money, the board has to do it.
Right, but meaning it's the recommendation. to
Oh,
say
yeah, usually it's the
we-
budget and finance that does it, but
Oh,
we
it's
didn't have
not.
time to do it, so
I
we
know what
put it
you're
on
saying.
executive committee. We would have went through budget and finance, but,
So then these that are here.
it's gonna be
only are-
recommended from us,
Okay.
executive committee.
So since we are very on item,
11.
no, here, on today's agenda, we've accepted this one,
Oh, right now,
but we're doing item 4 right now, filling the vacancies.
what item 4?
This one is
5.
5,
So we're on item,
5. They went backwards a little bit, so 5,
we're on item,
6.
we're
On
on
the
4
front page,
now.
it says 1 through 5, but if you turn it over, it starts off with 4 again.
Yeah, sorry, that was
So
me
it'll
mistyping.
be-
Yeah, that was a mistake.
4, let me change.
Yeah,
this.
that was literally a mistake, it wasn't done purposely.
So that one's supposed to be 6,
Yeah.
7, 8, 9,
There
10,
you go,
11,
yeah.
12.
Yeah,
Okay.
sorry about that.
No problem.
I'm changing them also. 9, 10,
Oh,
11,
yeah,
12.
So we have 14, not the,
13.
yeah, there you go, 14.
I only get 12, what do you get?
I get 13.
What?
I got 14.
I got 14.
Oh, 5.
1,
Oh, my
2,
mistake.
3, 4,
I'm supposed to change
5,
this.
Yeah, 6.
7.
I must take 6. It's gonna go to 14 and a half.
Number 8.
6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. I only did
I
12.
only got 12.
How do you guys get
Because
14?
the 4, when you get, this goes to 6, 7.
Look, here we go. I'm projecting it for you guys, okay?
Yeah,
This is
Oh, you
the,
have a different paper than us. You have a different one than we do.
How do we have a different one than you did?
I don't know.
I don't know.
I didn't bring them. This one is 6, 7, 8.
it was the one that was on the website.
That the one that says 7 PM?
Yeah,
Can I see the copy you have?
it's right, oh, yeah.
So with the paper I have,
It's the one on the wall too.
14.
That's the one that's on the website. And that's the one that's here projecting.
But that's not the one that I copied, because the one that I received from you,
That's the one that was
I
emailed
don't have
to.
any of this as in my copies. I don't, so, all right.
So you want to use,
So I'm just gonna do it as you guys do it there. so.
You could take that one that's on the wall too, if you want. And I'm gonna, up here, you see, if you guys are looking at it, number,
Yeah, let me
this
see.
is the one that's in your hands, Anthony, right here.
yes.
So this number 4 is supposed to be number 6, right, is what you're saying?
Correct.
Yeah,
And then everything else is one already numbered by itself, right?
yeah, and then this is supposed to be,
So,
I'll be right back.
7. There you go, everything now went into its order, 9, 10, 11,
I
12,
should stop at 13.
13, yeah.
Okay, I did have it right, because there is no 13.
So the question goes, how do you want to,
For us to hear that.
How do you
we have
wanna do
We have
number-
to move an item out of order now, and so we can speak on it, because we're still on 4.
okay,
We've completed 4, filling the vacancies is on there, so that number 5 is closed.
okay.
So now we're moving to item 6, but reality you want to hear item 7.
Okay. Do you think the grievance takes priority over the reallocation? No, the reallocation, what do you think?
Reallocation.
Reallocation, huh? Because the grievance must take a little while, a little longer, and chairs want to be sure that they got that money and they're already, secured.
Okay, so can we have a motion then now to hear item 7 out of order?
I motion to hear item 7 out of order.
Okay, so that is
Then I'll second.
Jackie, thank you, and Michelle. And I'm gonna say move to 7. Move to 7.
So-
Those in favor of moving item number 7 out of order, raise your hand.
Aye.
Okay, so now we'll go to item 7, which is an opportunity for us to hear funding allocations for each of the committees.
Do you want me to give a little history
Discussion.
about it, of what's going on?
Yes.
Before we go to discussion, so you guys know? Okay, so some of the chairs did reach out to me and ask me for reallocation. They did ask, they emailed and they asked. Of course, I don't get to say yes or no as a treasurer. I don't get to say, oh, you need more, you need less. They just told me, and I brought it here today. And they told me this yesterday before the agenda was made. So Budget and Finance was not able to meet. So that's why we put it on the executive agenda. But hopefully this doesn't become a routine and we do it through the Budget and Finance Committee.
Absolutely.
Yeah, it was just a time sensitive.
So these dollar amounts, each of the committees are
Told
asking
me.
for that?
Yes,
Okay.
yes. For example, Outreach Committee told me they would like 1,000 reallocated. Beautification told me they would like 500. Ad hoc Voter Engagement Committee, obviously since it's a starting committee, we're giving them 1,500 like all other committees, because they obviously are gonna need it. And Sports and Rec told me they need 1,000 more, so that totals $4,000 out of the general fund. Let me show you the general fund, so you guys are wondering,
Yep,
what
this
is the
category
general fund?
100.
Here is the general fund. If you guys look at the screen, here are the categories. Category 100 is the general fund. Originally, we approved and voted to put this big amount in there, so in case we ever need to move money to any other category, we could move it. So that's where it's gonna be taken out of that $9,000.
So we would be left with 5,000.
Yes, yes, yes.
Okay.
And of course, I would present a draft that day of the meeting, showing the draft with the change and what it looks like now. So that's my, and I don't know if you guys had any more questions or any more discussion.
No, before we make a discussion, so you would, I'm gonna mark down that
Yeah, I
Michelle.
think I'm
you
done
wish-
with my comment, yeah, or
Okay, you-
explaining the reason why.
Yes, but we have to have a motion to sort of approve what we're looking at.
I just have a question, because the voter engagement committee, it's at 1,500, but does that conflict with what we voted for on
The board still said 1,000. That's what Michelle
Yeah,
mentioned.
yeah.
Yeah, if they have 500
1,500.
extra, they can use it.
Okay. If
But
we
the
don't,
board
it goes
hasn't
back.
voted on it yet. Meaning the board only approved up to 1,000.
For their event. Yeah, but
But there's still $500 there for
Yeah.
something else in the
Yeah.
future.
Oh,
yeah, we just
for
figured
any
it's a starting committee, give them their 1,500, like all of their committees.
So
Okay.
here for notes, do you want me to indicate that Michelle is making the just so we could enter discussion?
So I
Item
like to move a motion to put item 7 from the executive committee agenda into item 11 of the September 6th agenda.
Yeah, it doesn't have to be exactly item 11, but yes, okay, Michelle, and there's a second? Stephanie, okay. So now do we have discussion? Now you mentioned your question, Steph, your question, Jackie, is you feel that the $1,500 was too much, or you didn't, you just had a question?
Well,
How
just
can
that
you-
we, as a board, we voted up to 1,000, but if there's
Yeah.
extra money in there, it could just be reallocated to whatever
Yeah.
needed be to spend. Because even when you have money's left over, it all can be reallocated to whatever is necessary.
What number are we on? I'm sorry. 5, 6?
We
On the paper,
we
we-
went out of order from the executive agenda, we're on number 7, we moved number 7 out of order.
Which
The
is-
new number 7.
Which says 5 on the paper.
Okay, thank you.
So do you have any discussion for that item, Cynthia?
A question, how come this number 6 is blank?
I've seen that too.
The numbers are all, it's
Yeah.
okay.
Okay, so 6 is no,
It's
and
nothing.
then that's 8,
Correct.
okay.
And then it should conclude at 13.
That's why this is a draft.
Yeah, we got it, okay, no problem. Okay, so we're on number 7 right now?
Yes.
Okay, so the board members met, our committee met yesterday, and we actually wanted to amend it to $1,500. So we did it as a committee, we did it outright with our vote, and we submitted our request, and I asked Anthony if that was possible to do it through committee, and he said yes, it was, as long as we did it at a public meeting, and that we would bring it to the general board, so.
And it's on the paper for us to talk about.
And it's on the paper for us. Okay, so I mean, I just wanted to give
The
you a
only
little.
question I have is, all of these committees did reach you? I mean, obviously, I guess, what you mentioned, and they have their allocation. We did have one board member resign because our committee didn't have no money, which was the land use committee. Is there anything in here that we should do to add funds for the land use committee?
I think there's already money in there, isn't there?
Is there?
We don't have a land use line?
No, let me show you what we're at
That's
right
a
now.
good point.
Right here,
Yeah.
land use is right there.
Just think that's.
Who's in the land use committee?
Well, it was Tom Williams
Where
and
is land use? I didn't read it.
Jorge Garcia and another stakeholder. I'd have to check my notes for the gentleman's name, but we have to fill in the
It
land
would
use
have been
chair.
Miguel.
Okay, so then you're saying you would like us to amend to include land use
committee to get
1,500
something.
and
Yes.
increase 500 to beautification, correct? Is that what you're saying?
I don't, why beautification?
I'm sorry, not outreach. Sorry.
Outreach would be increased from 1,000 to 1,500.
But didn't they already get an allocation earlier in the year? This is just an extra $1,000
No.
on top.
Everything
Let me-
was
let me-
paid out.
let me-
Let her
let me
give
show
the
you.
breakdown. It's,
You see this right here? This is membership and outreach.
Yeah,
249 and 150 was for the Coffee with Cops.
okay,
650 is committed already.
okay.
You see this column committed? 650 is committed, so that leaves them with 450.
Right,
That's what
but
they-
what I'm showing is that right here, they still started with 1,500.
Yeah, they did.
Yes, yes,
Okay,
yes,
so
yes.
if we give them another 1,000,
That's,
is that?
1,500.
Reasonable?
1,500 because we have the Halloween, the Dia de los Muertos, we have the Derby dolls, we have all the flyers, we have all
No,
of
arts and culture is already committed with Halloween.
Oh, so Halloween is arts and culture. Okay.
Yeah, you see, if you look at arts and culture line item, It's already committed 1,500.
I mean, if we have an idea of another event to come up, like in the next month or so, that's probably what we were discussing, but for right now, we're asking for the 1,500.
Yeah, they
For
want it, they
membership
want
and
it.
outreach.
Yeah, we should,
Okay,
if they
so-
want it, amend.
So you want to increase the 1,000 to 1,500, okay? We have an amendment by Cynthia. And just, let me see, I'm writing it, Cynthia, is there a second?
Second.
From Jackie, okay, and that's to increase that dollar amount to 1,500 on the motion as before us, or what we're discussing.
Right, item number
So
7.
just on the amendment only, do we have any discussion on increasing the membership and outreach committee by $500?
I think it's good. Let's get ourselves out there more.
Okay,
Let's do more things.
no more discussion? Okay, so since this is not really a financial vote, but since we're not
Correct.
spending money, we just take a hand tabulation. This would be just to increase membership and outreach committee from $1,000 to $1,500. Please raise your hand. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, those opposing, raise your hand, and those abstaining, raise your hand. Just one. 401, so now what we do is just strike or cross out the 1,000, add 1,500 on that same item number 7,
It's been done.
right? And now is there any other amendments?
I'd like to amend to add 1,500 for land use committee.
Okay, this is
Second.
Michelle, thank you, and I'm just, can't write that fast. Jackie.
And I already have it ready up here on the agenda on the
Okay,
draft.
to add land use, 1,500. That's amendment submitted or proposed by Michelle and second by Jackie. Is there any discussions on the amendment only, which is to include land use committee to be allocated $1,500? Any discussion? None? We'll take a hand tabulation again to include that amendment. All in favor, raise your hand. 1, 2, 3, 4. 4. Those opposed, raise your hand. And those abstaining, raise your hand. That amendment is included also, 401. So we have 2 amendments included to the main motion. Is there any other amendments for this item?
I would just like to know, is there any other committees that do not have any funding?
She
Let me
would
go
know.
back to that screen. Other committees that don't have money is executive, but then again, maybe we should do it now since we're thinking of doing something for the quinceañera.
Yeah, I would say.
And bylaws.
I have a question. So for our board meetings, I noticed that we don't have any snacks and clean water or nothing for our board meetings. Is that something that we stopped doing, or will we continue to do that?
No, we did that last year through executive committee. We made a motion to spend 100 every month. So since it's not on the executive agenda, oh, I'm sorry, Anthony, go ahead. Since it's not on the executive agenda, we can't vote on it right now. We would have to bring it up next month.
Because I feel bad, like I'll bring a case of waters, but I feel like we should have this water out there for
Yeah.
the people who are coming in. Our people, I mean the stakeholders.
So, in your,
Did you want to put money in the
Executive, you wanna-
executive committee?
we should have at least 1,500.
But I'm curious, does that money come out of executive committee or out of operations?
No, it
It's
comes
gonna
out of
come out of that
operations
same one, the
into
$9,000 right there.
Oh, it comes out of there.
Which it's
Out of the
only at
general fund.
It's gonna, yeah, right now it's 4,000 left if we do approve that 6,000.
Then what we can do is probably put that on our next month's agenda. I'll probably pitch in some money to help out with water or things like that, refreshments, something light.
But I think
And
you're
then we-
missing, we're trying to put money on the executive committee agenda.
Nobody's
Well, what I'm
answering her
thinking-
question.
Yeah, what I'm thinking is we could just put it on our agenda for next month, and then when we make our action, instead of it coming out of executive committee, it'll come out of operations. Meaning we'll make the recommendation next month, we'll
So it
formulate
would be miscellaneous expense then.
No,
I think, well,
Yeah,
how
I
did you
guess.
spend, what did you spend it out of before? How did you spend the money? Like for the food and the Southwest
we
catering and all
chose
that
one of these operational categories.
stuff? Okay, so what?
I mean, we can increase right now, and like we did for land use, we gave land use 1,500, someone can
I
amend.
think that we should amend that to have executive committee
Have some money?
have money as well.
Okay, so what would be your amendment, Cynthia?
I would like to amend that we add at the end of the land use, 1,500 to land use, we also add, so we would strike out the "and" word and we would put a comma,
Where is that at?
where we just. she's
I'm
doing
typing it up on the
she's
board.
doing it. and executive committee,
Oh,
total reallocation, okay, so it's 1,500.
for executive committee?
Yes, because we're doing the quinceañera, Anthony, we need a lot,
Oh,
we need
I got what
money
you're
in
saying.
there.
You see how I did it up there already?
Okay,
So then it would be
is there a second?
6,000 or 7,000?
Oh, 7,000.
Is there a second for Cynthia's
Second.
amendment? Jackie? Okay, and that is for 1,000, I'm gonna put this for exec, 1,500. Okay, is there any discussion for that? It's an amendment to include executive committee to the allocated $1,500. The amendment's by Cynthia, second by Jackie, no discussion? We'll take a hand vote, all in favor for that amendment, raise your hand. 1, 2, 3, 4. Those opposed, raise your hand, and those abstaining, raise your hand. That's 401. The executive committee amendment has been included to the main motion so far. Do we have any other discussion or debate?
I think that's
Good.
Anything else, any other amendments for item number 7? Okay, so the motion will read, established by Michelle. and
Do you want to read it right
Second by Stephanie. Yeah, discussion and possible action that LA 32 reallocates from the operational category,
Under general funds.
category under general funds into the membership and outreach committee, $1,000, beautification committee,
1,500.
$1,500, beautification committee, $500, ad hoc voter engagement committee, $1,500, sports and recreation committee, $1,000, land use committee, $1,500, and executive committee, $1,500. Total reallocation is $7,000, and if those numbers add up, 3,
Please check somebody, confirm it. I have a calculator here if anybody wants to use it.
6, 7. No, it's
Yeah,
fine.
Is it? Okay. That's the original
Okay.
motion.
So is everyone, no further discussion on the main motion? Okay, all in favor of approving that motion for the executive committee, raise your hand.
Oh, for it to be number 11 on the agenda, which is after filling in the seats number 10.
Oh, it will be
which
number
was
11?
Which
Okay.
was what my motion said, for it to be number 11.
Okay. So those in favor, item. Those in favor, raise your hand.
All right.
Oh, okay, that's 4. Those opposed, raise your hand, and those abstaining, raise your hand, 1. Okay, so that motion has been set to the September agenda. We now go back to, that item 7 will be closed. We now move back to item number 6. Item number 6, we moved that item out of order because we went from 5 to 7. So now we're on item number 6 on today's agenda for this evening. Item number 6 is a discussion and possible action to hear the recommendation of the grievance panel for grievance number 77. Grievance 77 is sustained in part. The grievance is sustained for general board meetings of February 1st, April 5th. And the grievance is rejected for the special general board meeting of April 17th. Are those going to be something that was submitted right here?
Yes, the grievance panel emailed it to the recording secretary.
Okay, so this is here, right?
Yes.
Okay, so then we don't need any discussion or recommendation right now because it's been submitted by the committee or the panel. So, let me see, 1, 4, they look identical. Okay, so is there anything else that we need to do? There's really nothing since it's been submitted in writing, so that'll be added to the agenda, which is this grievance panel recommendations. So I don't really see why it's on tonight's agenda. Is there any discussion about it? You know, we can't really elaborate on it since we'll be taking actions September 2nd, September 6th, my mistake.
So then I'd like to make a motion that we add executive agenda item number 6 to the general board agenda September 6th.
Well, that'll be
As
what
number-
we're doing is we're taking the grievance panel's recommendation.
Yeah, to put it in the,
Next?
to put it
Yeah,
next,
to put
which
it
would
next.
be number 12.
Okay.
That's my motion, to put it as number,
Well, it doesn't need really a motion, it was submitted by the committee or the panel, so we have it.
But she just wants to allocate it to number 12 so
That's
that
fine,
it's on.
you can go next. You can put it next on the agenda.
right?
Okay, so this one's been taken care of. So item 6 is closed. We've done 7. Now we move to item 8. This one says discussion of possible action to LA 32NC fund up to $3,000 for couches/sofas and/or coffee tables at the El Sereno Senior Citizen Center. Couches will be branded with LA 32NC logo. Funds to be taken from operational category under general funds. Someone, Jackie?
We already did a special vote when we did our reading.
Yes.
We already voted on that, so it should probably just go away. Or
Well, it's back on the agenda, so I have to go back and refer to the board's position that we took on that day, which is,
So at first we went for it, then we didn't go for it, and then, yeah.
let me see,
Well, that was,
item 9?
that's a recommendation of the city clerk for us to.
Yeah, do you want me
put it back
to
on.
explain why I recommended it to be back on the agenda? Would you guys like to hear
Discussion
why?
and possible action in LA to reallocate $2,500.
Do we need to move it forward to hear why and then we vote whether we decide to put it on or not?
Yeah, it's not.
So then let me move it forward and then
Okay.
I'll explain and you guys can vote yes or no
It'll be
again.
Michelle.
Okay,
and
so
then-
I'd like to move it forward for discussion.
Correct. And is there a second?
Second.
Okay, Michelle and Jackie. Okay, go ahead, Michelle.
Okay, so obviously the 3,000, according to the general funds where we're at right now, is not gonna be 3,000. We're
Right.
down to 2,000. So the reason why I put it back on the agenda, because funding department, city clerk had asked me, they followed up with me asking me, what happened? You submitted this to us, it's approved, you have the board vote approval, that the board approved it
Yeah, we did.
back in the June meeting, which we did. We approved the 2,500 for couches to the senior center. The only little thing it said, funds to be taken out of CIPs,
Yeah.
which is Community Improvement Project. So the reason why they rejected it was because Community Improvement Project is only, it doesn't fit in that category. They said this is more of an outreach thing. And they said, if you take it out of outreach, then we'll approve it. And I told them, well, I can't just take it out of outreach because outreach looks like this. Where am I gonna take it out from outreach? And they said, oh, you could do it out of outreach. So then that's when Budget and Finance met and we said, let's take it out of membership and outreach. So that's why that specific month, there was a motion for membership and outreach to have more money, which we were gonna justify that day why there was an increase without just giving an increase to membership and outreach. But it was gonna come out of membership and outreach because city clerk said, you can buy patches, you can put stickers, you could put a sign saying compliments of Alley 32. You could put on the El Sereno Parks and Rec newsletter, so the community knows that Alley 32 did this as an outreach because your stakeholders sit there when you guys have meetings. Because most of us sit there when we have meetings. Sometimes there's more than 2 committees meeting, so some of us sit on the couches. And the last time we were there was literally bugs coming out of those couches,
That day
bugs.
when I was talking to.
There was
Felicia
bugs.
Of Spider.
And getting used, yeah, getting used ones would probably put us back in the same one with bugs or bed bugs or whatever.
Ah,
So they reached out to me again asking, hey, what happened to your motion? You never came back and, and I told them, oh, the board, at the special meeting, August 8th, they felt it just wasn't a need. They said, are you gonna still want to? And I go, you know what, I'll ask the executive officer. So that's why I put it on here and figured maybe we could discuss it again, visit it again, and see how you guys feel about it. If you guys still feel the same, I respect that. It doesn't really, I just figured we could try again. Obviously, it wouldn't be 3,000 because now that general fund category is down to, what is it, 9,000 minus 7 is what?
2,000.
2,000.
So it would have been.
So it would be 2,000,
But then membership and outreach is just getting another 1,500, so if membership and outreach,
Unless we move the 2,000 into membership and outreach and then membership and outreach take care of it. The invoice would come to Alley 32 and Alley 32 would pay the invoice to El Sereno Park. We cannot go to the furniture store and purchase the couches because that would be a gift to the El Sereno Senior Center. So they specifically said, El Sereno Parks and Rec has to give you an invoice, and which I actually had ready at the last meeting to show you all that an invoice payable to Alley 32 for this much for couches at the senior center. And so in other words, we would be paying the park and the park would go buy the couches.
discussion.
Do we have any other
could
discussion questions?
could that come out of environmental green as well?
It's an outreach, yeah.
Well,
It's in the outreach category, yeah.
reason why I think that it's a good idea to have those couches, I mean, we don't have an office, we don't have a home.
Yeah. To call it
our
our
own.
own.
But we do, we are there, so I think that we should, like, I did so much cleaning in the place the last time we had a bunch of people come. I dusted, I organized all those
I
tables
believe
and
you.
stuff, but,
There's spiders.
and I just think that it's first impressions are always best. We have so many stakeholders that are coming in. Why not represent who we are? It is the senior center, but we have our home there. I've been there when seniors come in and they sit all over the place. They're so cute. I forgot which. Oh, I don't remember
Thursday.
what it was. Oh, you know what? All the seniors were coming in to do their exercise workout, and we had Julio Torres' dad's services there. So they're like, oh, it got canceled and so forth. But they were all sitting around chatting and stuff. So they would use it as well, but they're stakeholders. We are stakeholders. And I just think that it would be a great asset to walk into that place and see that, wow, this is
Yeah.
nice.
Uplift, yeah, you want there and have a facelift.
And it's and it's lasting, you know. It's something that could be there and that we had, you know, been participant of. So that's my feeling on it. I don't think that it's just an exchange for this, exchange for that. We're just being careless with our funding and so forth. But I think it would be a great asset to have that there.
Is there any other additional discussion?
I second
Any other
that.
input?
I agree with her. I've been there on several occasions and I've been bit myself and,
And it sucks if like seniors are getting bit
Bit,
too.
yeah.
we don't
That's
know.
sad.
Yeah.
We got to take care of them.
The questions,
Yeah,
take
and
care of ourselves.
I don't mind that we do this. I mean, we're finding a way, actually, you know. And I understand, obviously, there's a need because, you know, people are mentioning, and even the seniors have mentioned to me, hey, I wish we could get new couches because of the bugs. The only question that some have had is since it is a city entity, which is the senior center,
Right.
belonging to the Department of Rec and Parks, the Department of Rec and Parks is budgeted funds for this. So let's say they already have their $2,000 set for that. We go out and spend our $2,000 for this because out of a kind gesture, we're finding ways to fund it, and if the board votes on this, then somehow the park has to, how would you say, they have to justify what are they going to do with the $2,000 that they had for furnitures, couches, whatever else they might need as part of a city entity, as a part of a park.
Yeah.
So I would probably want to ask, Guzman, what's his first name? Juan?
No, I already spoke to Kelly and
Okay.
to,
So-
Kelly's above Juan,
Okay,
and then it's Juan
Right.
Guzman. So I spoke to the two of them when all this, before it even went to the general board, so I could give as much information as I can. Kelly and Juan, Kelly, who actually knows more than Juan on all that budget stuff,
Yeah.
he says they cut their budget big time, where they don't have, as before, you know, they'd be able to get extra stuff like Wi-Fi for the location. They can't even provide Wi-Fi, which is something we use when we're having our meetings. They can't even provide money to fix the restrooms because some of the stalls are not closing, locking. So if they had those funds, they would have used them a long time ago. So they don't have that fund. So that's why, that's actually why this motion grew, because I was talking to Kelly and I was talking to Juan, and they said that would be very helpful if you guys would be able to provide couches for the senior center. If obviously it costs more, but the 2,500 was what originally we kind of shopped and looked for, how much it would be getting couches. And that's how that amount came up, you know what I mean?
okay.
But yes, I have spoken to Kelly, who is the, what is he, he's the,
Superintendent, I think, right?
yeah, he's the one in charge of all of this region.
Region,
Yes,
North region.
he's in charge of Rose Hill, El Sereno, Guardia, all of them,
Yes.
over here. So,
Yes,
yeah.
Jackie?
I'm just saying that too, again, that's our home, LA 32. Everybody knows the senior center is LA 32's home.
It's on our business cards, I mean.
Yeah,
you know, I mean,
so let's
we're
make it
already
our home.
branding it,
I know other
so.
people will be using our home, but we're using their home. So, and then I would like to see like a banner too, or those stand-up pole things, you know, that we we're talking about.
Oh,
Pull-out
yeah,
things.
yeah.
Oh, yeah.
That would be there in that place, standing there, saying, you know, this is the home of the, you know, LA 32. There's so many people that go through that place. It would be nice to have them there at our meetings as well. But anyways,
Is
that's
there any
my,
further discussion?
And you were saying something about environmental green, possibly from there?
Trying to pull another
Because
500
it's
from
in,
there.
it's in the outreach category, and that's what the city clerk wants to see when, let's say, we did approve it in the future and we said, yes, it's a go, then I would go into the funding request system, and when I submit the board vote and the invoice and what category, I have to push the button that says outreach.
Mhm.
I can't put CIP. I can't, because they already told me they denied it.
Okay, so after the discussion from the previous item, I'm noticing that you mentioned also as part of your discussion that we don't have enough funds for this dollar amount, so we need to sort of
Well,
reduce this dollar amount.
Can our committees?
No, but we could,
Offer?
we could offer through environmental green, we could
Okay,
offer
sports
through
and rec.
sports and rec, we could offer through arts and
we
culture.
can move what will be left on this general fund, which will be, what is it?
2,000.
2,000, maybe put it inside of environmental green, you know? And that'll be
That'll be
3,500. And then environmental green has 500 to use.
And I'm
If
sure
they need
sports
more,
and
we
rec,
could-
if we needed to, you know, participate in
I
that.
think it should be
funding.
beautification though, honestly. Because it's, you're beautifying, the
That's
senior
true.
center. Sports and rec really,
We were actually talking about that today during Sonny's meeting, about something standing that they can beautify and be like, wow, that's LA 32. So there's some great ideas happening amongst them three,
Yeah.
and about, you know, Route 66, so forth like that, you know. So I think that we should do something that's standing, like, that's not gonna go away. Like, we already know that every time we see the stuff, it's like LA 32, you know.
I mean, I would
Or
say
anything else
environmental
that
green
would
and
be able to
beautification.
beautify.
It doesn't matter which of them, as long as it's in that category,
Right.
200. If we do beautification, obviously, we know there already a motion coming in forward, so we already know.
What would their balance be when that motion comes
I
forward?
think it's gonna be 500.
What if they're against,
I know, what if, you know, and then we got environmental green who hasn't done anything, so it would be more logic, environmental green. Because it's still in that category outreach.
200, yes.
Yeah, it's still in this category right here. And that's all city clerk wants to see. It's up to us which of these, you know?
I would say put it in environmental green and then.
Because if we do beautification, they might say, oh, that still falls under CIP,
Right.
you know? Maybe environmental green. Well, either way, we're gonna tell them it's out of this category,
So
200.
the dollar amount stays the same, 3,000 here?
We're
No,
gonna.
that's obviously, well, yeah, because we're gonna move money around.
Okay.
So how do we do a reconsideration? Should we first vote and then reconsider allocating the budget?
From the one we just did here?
Yeah, so we would have to first approve the 300, right? And then reconsider to reallocate.
But we would have to approve the 3,000,
I'm sorry, the 3,000.
And then go
but
back
we
to
can't
item seven.
reconsider because it was from June. It's
No,
No,
already-
no,
we
she's
can
talking about what we
reconsider
just did
right
right
now.
now, what we
We
just
just-
talked
yeah.
about 10
Oh,
minutes
okay,
ago.
okay.
Yeah, to reconsider adding more money to environmental green to match the 3,000.
Okay, so we would, okay, so,
So
Yeah.
should we,
You still
should
have to
we
stay on
first?
item 8, you still have to stay on this item.
Yeah,
Okay, so I have Michelle and Jackie who's made the motion,
right.
and there's no more discussion? No more discussion? No. Okay. This one, well, we're just making a recommendation.
We haven't voted on it either.
No, but I'm wondering if I should take a tabulation vote, which I don't think we need because we're not approving to spend the money.
right?
no, we're not, just
Already
putting it
done.
to put on the agenda.
Just for agenda
Yeah.
setting. Okay, well then the motion will be discussion that possible action that LA 32 fund up to $3,000 for couches, sofas, and coffee tables at the El Sereno Senior Citizen Center. These couches will be branded with LA 32 NC logos, and the funds will be taken from the outreach category.
Yeah, instead of operation.
Correct, I'm gonna strike that and put the words outreach right here. Outreach category. And strike under general funds. So to just stop at outreach category, period. The motion's been submitted or prepared by Michelle,
It's
second
up
by
to-
Jackie,
Doesn't
second by
necessarily
Jackie.
we're gonna spend it all.
All in favor of including this motion for the general board meeting, please raise your hand. 1, 2, 3, 4. Those opposed, raise your hand. And those abstaining, raise your hand. That'll be 401. This item will be included to the September's agenda.
So then I would like to reconsider
Yes,
to go back to number 7.
correct. Okay.
Do I need to say what my reconsideration is? No?
No, not now. We just need
Oh,
a second.
just a second.
Yeah.
I want to second that.
Okay, and then by Cynthia. And I'm gonna put reconsider. And the way that works out is we're all always allowed to reconsider during the same meeting or the following meeting. So
Right.
this is, we haven't closed our meeting tonight, so it's your
Correct.
right to do your reconsideration at this time. So it's a reconsideration by Michelle, second by Cynthia, to hear item number 7 again. So we'll now I'm gonna draw that arrow to here. So now item 7 is open again. Let me close 8. 8 is closed, 7 is now open again, which is the budget allocation. So your reconsideration, Michelle?
My reconsideration would be to allocate 2,000 from general fund operations, category 100, general funds 200, from that category into environmental green committee.
Okay, so I'm gonna put to move 2,000 into
From general funds, 2,000 into
environmental green.
environmental green.
So, and it doesn't need a second because it's your reconsideration, just a second, Cynthia seconded so we could hear the item. So now is there any discussion on moving those $2,000 from the general fund into the environmental green committee?
No.
Okay, so now the environmental green committee will get an additional $2,000. The total allocation will be $9,000, which is at the very end. And you put it in there, $2,000 into environmental green committee, there's a total of 9 here. That's it. Okay, so the reconsideration has been submitted. Is there any further discussion? Nothing? All in favor of approving the reconsidered motion or agenda setting motion for allocating funds, please raise your hand. 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 over here. Those opposed, raise your hand, and those abstaining, raise your hand. 401, the reconsideration is included, and the full motion as prepared will now have $2,000 included into the environmental green committee, giving a total allocation of $9,000 out of the general funds. So that item is now closed again, and we now move to item 9 on the other page. Item 9 is discussion and possible action that LA Neighborhood Council schedules the Board Dynamics Workshop with Gary De La Rosa from Empower LA Wednesday, October the 4th at 6 p.m. Is that the day of our first meeting?
Do you want me to, yeah, I can explain why I
Okay.
put that on there.
At the general board, it
We
says
can
at the
move it
general board
forward and
meeting.
I'll explain.
Funding not to exceed $400 for dinner and to the stakeholders in the community who attend. Funds will be taken from operation category into general funds. Okay, who wants to make this item, we could discuss it?
I'll move it forward so we can,
Second.
I can explain, yeah.
Yes, okay, perfect. And you, Jackie, second?
Second, yes.
Go ahead now, Michelle. Please.
This was put on the agenda because Tom had suggested on an email, if we can, he emailed actually you and I, the both of us, I don't know if you read that email or not. But he actually said on the email to you and I, if we can maybe possibly set a future date to have Gary De La Rosa come and do some dynamic workshop. I just put that date out there in that amount, but we can amend it and change the date or just let the board amend on September 6th. I figured October 4th because it's the next general board meeting after September and we're all there versus trying to make them all come on an extra day, on a Saturday or an extra evening. We could maybe squeeze it in between or start off with the dynamics workshop. I don't know, but I just figured it's something that, why not, you know? It's useful tool, something positive that I think it would benefit all of us. That's why it was on there. The $400, obviously, there's gonna be no more money in under operational category general funds. Maybe we could take it out of miscellaneous. Maybe if we do agree on this, maybe an amend to take it out of miscellaneous. 400, because the last time we did the training, when Tom did the training, I think we did was it 600?
I think
Yeah.
it was 600.
Well, which we did the Italian food and we had a little extra left, so that's why I said 400. So that's why it's on there, because I just figured it would be helpful to have that. How long would it be? Obviously, we would tell them, you know, 30 minutes, 15 minutes. I'm pretty sure if we tell Gary, can you do something in 15 minutes, you know? He'll probably whip up something for us in 15 minutes. I mean, I doubt he's gonna say, no, the workshop's gonna take 1 whole hour or 2 hours, you know, I don't know the time. Maybe we could just put it on the agenda and then Anthony can talk to Tom and say, Tom, how long is that dynamics workshop gonna be? And maybe we'll amend over there, you know.
Yes, absolutely, go ahead, Jasmine.
So, I don't know what the emails were between you two, but I know that Tom Soon had verbally told us at the last meeting that he would like us to participate in that. Also, he showed up at the special joint meeting as well, and he was talking about having some kind of dynamics, which was nice because we have some new board members that
Yeah,
are
we
going
want
to
to
be
discourage them.
and I just think it's great. The more we learn, actually I learned this the other day during a PACE meeting, LASD. You stay, the more you learn, the younger you stay. So if you stop learning, then you're just gonna get
Over,
old.
huh?
Or like they say, if the music gets loud, you're too old. It's loud.
So I just think that we should all be sponges and just continue to learn. And I'm all about learning. Everybody learns differently, but just I think that I want to continue to learn and be a part of this. And I think the new people that are coming on, and Anita and the other two new board members, that would be a great start for them.
I agree.
Thumbs up.
Anything from you, Cynthia? Any input, discussion? Yeah, one thumbs up for you. Stephanie, anything?
I agree.
No? Michelle, anything else?
Just the only thing, I'd like to amend that it is taken out of the operational category,
Miscellaneous.
but under
Miscellaneous.
miscellaneous expense. Because obviously, general funds is gonna be at 0.
Right. So we
That
could-
would be
we
my
could-
amend.
Yeah, so we could include that it specifically says miscellaneous funds, or just put a period at the end of operational category?
I would like miscellaneous funds, because
Okay.
sometimes some board directors ask us
So
what category,
Michelle.
and if we have it on the agenda, they know for their
Right.
notes.
And is there someone who'd like to second Michelle's amendment?
Second.
Jackie, okay. And that'll just be to change the words, it will remain funds taken from operational category under, and it'll say miscellaneous.
Do you want me to spell the whole word miscellaneous?
However you want. Like, isn't
No,
it
I guess when you type it, it's gonna come out.
M-I-S-C-A-L-I-N-O-U-S?
That's a long word, I'm not even gonna try. I just cut and paste, it's too long for me. I abbreviated it supposedly, but let me just cut and paste it right there.
It went down, yeah, scroll up.
Where did it go?
You have to go up.
Into this. Do you want to spell it? Go ahead.
Is it
No,
M-I-S-C-A-L-A-N-O-U-S?
M-I-S-C-E.
M-I-S-C-E
L-L-A-N.
L-L-A-N
E-O-U-S.
The teacher over there, right?
Two letters, I had the A to an E and I was missing
I
one
wouldn't even
L.
try. I wouldn't have not. That's why I didn't try. Okay, that's it right there.
Okay.
Ms. Michelle, are you saving as you go?
Okay,
That's
so
right.
that amendment's included. All in favor of including that, please raise your hand. Maybe 1, 2, 3, 4, so 0, 1. So that amendment will be included to the main motion. Now, is there any discussion for the main motion as it's been amended? No further discussion? Okay, so Michelle made the motion and Jackie seconded, so now the main motion will be to schedule the Board Dynamics Workshop with Mr. De La Rosa on October the 4th at 6 p.m. to include $400 for dinner, and the funds will be taken from the operational category miscellaneous funds. Those in favor, raise your hand. And that's 1, 2, 3, 4, and those opposed, raise your hand, and those abstaining, raise your hand. So that'll be included to the September 6th general board meeting as well. Item 9 is closed. We now move to item 10. And it says, discussion and possible action that LA 32 Neighborhood Council introduce a resolution asking the city of Los Angeles to divest from Wells Fargo for its long
Mr. President,
history.
can I
fraud. Yeah.
reconsider number on the executive agenda? What is it? Number 4. Can I reconsider number 4 so we can start putting in order the recommendations from our committees? I'd like to
Oh, to
reconsider
hear?
number 4. Yes.
Okay.
I'd like to hear that again. so we
There's
can
still
handle it.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 9 items still
Yes,
left.
so that's why I'd like to reconsider number 4 on our executive agenda.
Committee
So we can put
recommendation.
those in the agenda right now in order before we
left
hear
off-
other business.
We left off at 11 or something like that, right?
Yeah.
Yes, we
yeah,
did.
So that all the
No, we
numbers
left
will
off
change.
on number 14 right now.
Oh, okay. that
On
one
the
goes there.
general, yeah.
Okay, so you want to include these next?
Yes.
Yes, we want to go in order.
This one,
So
Sports and
do I
Rec has
just reconsider or
2.
just someone second?
I
Can I
have to
reconsider?
second. I'll second.
Well, we could probably leave that item open, so before we close it, I'm going to put Michelle and then Cynthia. And this will just be for a placement on the agenda. They all get on the agenda, it's just.
We're gonna decide what
Yeah.
order right now, right?
Yes.
I don't think there really needs to be like motions and stuff like that, but as long as it's all on the agenda, but yeah, we'll do that now. So there's,
And we need to go
So
back and
time
see.
sensitive, which
Six.
is more important?
6, 8, 9 items. So membership and outreach has
What
a
day?
date for October 14th here, she looks like, and that's the only date I see. Sports and Recs doesn't
No date.
have no dates. And the beautification committee has a date of the
There's that
16th.
earliest September.
So that one, and it's only one item, so
Yeah.
next seems to be beautification committee.
Okay,
This
it's already
one?
there, number 15.
Oh, you already put it in the words over here?
Beautification.
Okay.
I typed that fast, huh?
Yeah, yeah. Discussion and co-sponsor with CD14, El Sereno Community.
You
Club.
know how I got it there quick? Because when they do via email, it's a little bit easier to cut and paste, and then we vote on it right now.
Okay, meeting from Food for Less. Well, I don't get vote, like what, vote on what? The committee
Well-
submits it.
Oh, that we vote for it to be on the general agenda as number 15.
I don't think it needs a vote, it goes on there no matter what, I mean.
So
I
we
would
just
leave it
all
there.
agree that
Yeah.
it's gonna be number
Okay, so that
15.
one's next, okay, so
Okay.
let me leave that one over here. Let me put like this, item
15.
15.
Yeah,
Okay.
just for transparency in case, you know, Sani says, hey, how come I'm all the way down to number 20 and you guys at the public meeting said I was number 15, you
Yeah,
know?
that was some of the difficulties I had before. Okay, so now there's 6 from membership and outreach and 2 from sports and recs. And the only.
6 for membership and outreach.
Well, 2.
No, it's only 2 motions.
2 with the
Sports
library.
and rec.
Okay, then the motion, I have to read it, let me see. A motion to
What-
participate and fund various aspects of our Durban's annual house fair schedule. Aspects include but not limited to.
Excuse me there.
Okay, so this is
Does it have a date,
participate-
Anthony,
Yes, the 14th.
of October?
To participate.
And is yours, when do you need yours? When does Victor need those equipment?
Yesterday.
Yesterday?
For the council. to
Last month.
Facilitate the opening of the
Last month?
business in October.
Yeah, he should go next.
He should go next,
That
huh?
Yeah, he
voucher
should go
to
next.
provide funding not to exceed 400.
So basically, one is
Well,
just to
that's what I'm gonna say, yeah.
participate, the second one is for how much to actually fund the event. The third one is 400 for the flyers,
Mhm.
and the last one is not to exceed $500 for the refreshments and snacks.
Okay, I'm reading the whole thing from the very top, and you said 1, which is up here. I think we did that already, right? Didn't we cover reallocations?
Yes.
So that one's, I mean, yeah, I know they submitted it, but we just
Do you have
did
another copy,
that.
Cynthia?
Yeah, of course.
We've already done that. Item number 1.
So
This
probably,
number 1 is
it's
what I'm
not
saying.
Oh, okay, we took care of number 1.
So I don't want.
Okay, one is
you,
taken care of.
Yeah, I don't want Hugo to think that we're not doing it because that one has already been done. We did it here
So
for
what-
item 7. So I'm
Didn't
gonna,
he email it to you, Anthony?
he must have emailed it to me, but I
Can
haven't
you
read all of
forward
this
it
stuff.
to
right now.
Michelle? Maybe you can't pick it up, don't hold it, have it in.
No, I'm gonna have to
Okay, so,
manually type
right.
this whole thing right
So
now.
what I'm gonna do.
That's why I said give it to me,
is-
so I can start typing as you guys decide whether Jackie, sports and rec goes first
Okay.
or outreach. Because keep in mind, Victor needed his stuff like.
Yeah, so I don't want people to think that I'm just changing. What I did is I crossed out item number 1, the real number 1, I guess, that Hugo provided.
The real number 1.
Because we already worked on that, so it's not like we're excluding it, we already
did it.
did it, yeah.
discussed it, right.
So now, item number 2, it says motion to participate and fund various aspects of the LA Derby Dolls annual health and fair schedule for October 14, 2017. Aspects include but are not limited to. So I guess the membership and outreach committee met, and this is the way they want to provide the recommendations. The way I sort of see this though, is if by chance we put these in separate motions. 1, 2, 3, 4 different times. Maybe even the first one, 5 different times, which will be a motion to participate. So now we have 5 motions. The public comment period is going to be extensive. Some board members, and I'm not saying how they're going to vote because I don't know yet,
Right.
they may want to agree with number 1 and number 2, but not number 3 and not number 4 and number 5, yes.
But we're not gonna do
So-
a consent calendar.
Right, so what happens is some people might not all vote uniformly. The best thing to do would be have one motion, so we only take public comment once, and that
Combined.
everything is on one item, correct? Rather than having, the way I see it so far, 5.
Yeah.
These 4 plus the one that's written number 2.
But it's been done before and we haven't had any problems, so what
I'm
you're,
thinking
what
about
you're
what I'm thinking
seeing,
is time.
when
This-
we were
this will
having
take a
public
half an
comment at
hour.
50 minutes,
Huh?
there was no complaint or no concern when it was
Right.
public comment at 50 minutes. So
Right.
let's just do it.
I understand where he's coming from, because when I did my motion for flyers and stuff, it was all in one little paragraph. but it was to have like the flyers, the refreshments, everything one paragraph,
Mhm.
and then we all voted on it as that. But I understand what you're saying, because then we have to vote on this, we'll have to vote on that, we'll have to vote on this.
And then there's
So-
gonna be 5 different forms that she needs to fill out, or Stephanie needs to fill out, when it's really all relating to the same exact
So I'll
item.
vote yes. So I have a question.
But I'm not the
So,
majority,
I
I
have
can't
a
change
question.
Oh, okay.
I totally get what you're saying.
Mhm.
Like, I wouldn't have done it like this.
I know, me neither.
I would have done just one big amount and
Consolidated
then
one, yeah.
describe what that big amount is, break it down to this,
Yes,
this.
meaning the 500 and the 400 should be
Yeah.
9, technically
But
should
this
be
is my
11.
question, Anthony.
Okay,
If they voted on it publicly as A, B, C,
We
D,
can
and we
amend
move
it.
it as one, isn't that kind of, are we gonna kind of violate what that committee already did?
no, because what
Or
we're doing,
wouldn't they kinda
we're including what they want, and we're doing agenda setting. All we have to do is a setting, so we're not ignoring their work,
Uh-huh.
we're not ignoring their,
No, one
their,
paragraph?
right, we're not ignoring the performance that the committee did, we're not ignoring their recommendation, we're not saying, oh, well, we don't want to hear that. We're just consolidating all the information and data into one streamlined motion, and it might look like a big one, like, you know, obviously it's gonna be one
So
big
then you're
motion.
saying like when we type it,
It would say-
it'll be
Take out A,
da-da-da-da,
B, and
comma, then bring this up, da-da-da-da,
Yes.
comma, then da-da-da,
Yes.
and then all we're adding is
And
total
you add the
of,
5,
Total
4
of
is
the
9,
total
10, it'd be
and add the
$1,100.
entire amount.
1,100.
Oh, I see,
Yes,
okay.
so we're not ignoring the committee's work. That
We're
would
just putting
be,
it one for them.
yes, that would
Okay.
be something that I feel we should not do, because we don't ever do that.
Yeah, that's a
We
lot
don't-
of
we
time.
don't
And not
change what
amend
the
their
committee
stuff,
do.
but just add it, so take out
Okay,
A, B,
I'm
C,
for
D,
that.
and then
Yes.
just make it one.
Yes, one motion.
Motion.
So it'll be motion to participate, and
Do you
there'll
want
be
me to put
co-sponsor.
motion, or do you want me to put discussion
Well,
and
it is
possible action?
discussion- it is
Because
discussion
it's
and possible
uniform,
action,
then
right.
all our other ones
Yes.
start with discussion and possible action.
So it'll be discussion and possible action that we participate and co-sponsor.
No, it doesn't say
with-
don't add, it doesn't say
No,
co-sponsor.
no, be careful what you're
Well,
writing.
but when we do this, don't we have to be a co-sponsor for
No,
us to
we
fund
don't.
these things?
Well, that's what they should have done. Maybe we
should
could, the committee should have put co-sponsor. You're right, we are a co-sponsor. Why
Yes.
didn't they say the word co-sponsor? I have no idea. Maybe we can ask them on September 6th and say, hey, I'd like to amend, you should have done
We could
co-sponsor.
amend it on that day.
Actually, maybe we can amend it that way,
On
just
that
for the
day,
wording,
yeah, we
because
could.
we don't want to attack anybody and push the buttons to
Okay,
have.
Yeah, we
a-
don't
Let me
want,
write down-
you know, the
write down.
committee to say we did it
On
for a reason.
September-
Right.
September
And they're
the
new to
6th
doing this,
Would
so
be a amendment.
let's give them a little bit of.
Okay, so one of the officers here, because we know what to do, would have to just make an amendment that say, we want to co-sponsor, and then on that day,
We'll amend it
We'll
to
amend
say.
it. right, so I'm gonna put amend by officer. Okay, so the dollar amount
Amend by
total,
officer tonight, or amend by
5,
officer September 6th.
September 6th.
roughly come out to, okay, five.
So we'll read the
The
motion
total
whenever.
dollar amount I'm seeing is
Unless that's not anybody's, tell us
1,100,
who you can do it.
and then it says,
I mean, it's-
to participate,
I needed to do
various
it now, I
aspects
would do it now.
$30 on
I would say, but
aspects
I'm not the
include,
majority,
to participate
right?
with $30 night annual health fair,
No, we
with
would
a
have to have a
resource
majority,
group
like
to provide
another person, like say we're
and
having
our
a meeting.
promotional merchandise.
Say, what if he doesn't show up on that day? You know, it would just have to be better.
Okay, so we're gonna put, like you said, comma, so we're not changing none of the words. I'm gonna cross this guy out, put a comma here, cross this one out, put a comma, and cross this one out.
It's like what we did for a code of ethics, whereas, but it's all one idea.
Okay, and cross the A out. So there's gonna be no letters, no A, B, C, or D. Right after the colon, that says aspects include but not limited to, and then it'll just be a comma. Do you see that?
Yeah,
Okay, and it'll be. and
like right now I just finished writing all of A. So now I'm gonna write letter B, but I'm not gonna
Put a
put
comma,
B.
you put comma merchandise?
After 200 right there? Funds
Um,
not to exceed 200?
Or that
Is
would-
it period or comma?
What I would not do is I wouldn't put the dollar amount, I would just include, not to exceed 1,100, because what I did is I added the 5, the 4.
At the end, you
and
would
the
add,
2
you
is
would put
11.
funds not to exceed $1,100.
At the very end, right, because the 200 and 400 is 6, and then the 500, because they're all saying.
I can
not
see
to
why they
exceed,
did
not to
200 because
exceed.
that's how much it's the rental to use the facility. So you're
But it-
saying, okay, so
So after the word venue, event, see, no longer able to hold event,
venue, comma, or period?
comma. or-
Comma.
Yeah,
Okay, let me take out the period of the
and that
comma.
LA 32 provide funding not to exceed $400 for
And?
flyers,
No?
printed promotional materials to get the word out to the community.
So you're breaking it down again?
Well, I'm just
No,
adding the
we're
word
writing.
and.
We're putting.
put a comma, and then you
Yeah.
said, and that LA 32 provide funding, I'm reading it right off the paper.
But I thought you said you were gonna just put 1,100 and that you were gonna
Well-
describe.
At the very
At
end.
the very end, not to say
Okay.
how many, how
Funding.
much at every
To provide funding
sentence.
for, okay, so wait, let me see, funding, to provide funding for flyers, I'm saying so not.
Comma, and blah, blah, blah,
Flyers.
comma, and then you move
This
on
one
like that.
gets crossed out.
Principal,
Requesting materials that would come out to roughly provide a quote, valid for the requesting materials. But some of this language is not really even needed on the,
I know, like, you don't
On the
need to
motion.
tell, you don't need to
Yeah,
tell
but
us
there's
that,
another
that they
vendor that's
can't,
not
but that's how they did it, Anthony,
But
we,
we're
we,
supposed
yeah.
to take it as the.
As they brought it forward, yeah. That's why, that, yeah.
water, snacks and refreshments,
that's something that,
or staff, not.
Because I remember as Sports and Rec submitted something and the wording wasn't correct, so I had to amend it during the meeting because they
it
took
wasn't correct, or it was just too much information, or what do you?
Yeah, like the wording wasn't correct. Those are.
But I know
very
what you're saying,
basic.
like, we don't need to put on the motion, past vendor has provided
Yeah, I
a quote
know.
for LA $30 to request
Right.
material
But we
to
have
come out to,
address
I
this,
mean,
right?
but, do we need to put that past vendors have to? I don't know, what do you think?
I don't know.
Do we need to
Use
put
the
that,
second one.
I think,
do we need to put past vendors have provided a quote for LA 30, da, 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 I don't know.
It's good information, but I'm, as an executive board, I'm new to this, so do we
May-
make those calls?
Do we make
On
those
somebody's
decisions,
face?
Anthony? Let's tell the
I
president.
usually like to take exactly what the committee provides,
Well, yes,
yes.
but in
The
this
reason-
case-
Right, the reason being is because we don't want them to think that we're making up our own.
Right.
It's
Putting
them.
their words in their mouth.
But at the same time,
There's a lot
you
of,
have to think of this. Is it pertinent to the motion? Do the rest of us that are not here, which is, I'm gonna just start naming Sani, Hugo, Kathy, Perla, do
I
they
don't see,
need?
I don't
right,
see anybody's gonna have a problem with it. I mean,
What
it's
do they need to,
basically
do
telling
they,
you
does it
that
have to be
they're,
on there?
it's
Like for the
basically
stakeholders,
saying,
is it pertinent for the motion? Because we take an action, the whole body, LA 32 votes. Is that important to what we're voting on? That's how I see it.
yes, because the Derby Dolls have said that they would take our suggestion as another vendor local.
Look, you just said it, Cynthia, the Derby Dolls are expecting that wording, that motion, so we can't
Yeah,
change
you
it.
can't
Okay.
change it.
Well, the only thing we could do, Anthony, is put it and just next
Yeah.
time tell the chairs, don't put all that.
But they are
Just-
open to suggestions if
Yeah.
there are no other vendors.
I mean, this
We-
this
okay,
is like,
that
this is
connected to
like,
the council,
this is like a
maybe we
paragraph.
will Provide for better rate.
But we gotta respect
We
what
can
they
just leave it
publicly,
correct.
yeah.
And, you know, might be
You don't
wrong.
want the Derby Dolls to say, hey, I took a picture of what it is, why isn't it the word the way I want it, and forget it.
it's all a learning curve for it.
Yeah.
And like I said, this is the new
Let's
chair.
just put it on
Under
there.
committee, and
Yeah.
he's learning as he goes. I was there, I feel, I know, because I'm learning as I go.
Well, he's
so.
not new to being a chair. He's been chairs for years with LA 32. It's just the way it was worded, regardless whether it's him or the committee.
One
It just happened like that, and we'll just, remind each other or them, to not put
Okay.
a little
that
too
one.
extra.
Okay, so I marked down the way I sort of do it is I put all four and then the two, I combine them all into one item. I'll put right here, one item. So we're not really deleting anything, just consolidating
You're
it.
consolidating, yes, exactly.
Okay, so let me finish typing. Where am I at?
Break time.
So you want me to go back and put that LA 32,
This is
where the
where-
flyers, let me get back to the facilitate the senior center at 200.
Uh-huh, and I would stop at the word venue, see?
The
they're no
LA
longer
32
able to
provide
hold the
flyers
event in their
and
venue.
printed. Do you want me to put provide flyers and printed promotional material? Or do you want me to add in there the way they have it?
And that.
That's it right
Yeah,
here.
that goes to little t, and that I'll able to provide funding.
Do you want me to put that provide funding not to exceed
No,
$400?
You just put funding for flyers, which is says, right, funding for
Well,
flyers.
not out
Right.
for,
And printed promotional material, you keep going all the ways until you get to provide a better rate.
Increase attendance. And where are we? After attendance period, past vendors have provided a quote for LA Derby Dolls.
And I think that would be plural, right? LA Derby Dolls requested materials, so it'd be apostrophe after the S. LA Derby Dolls is,
Well, that's not how they do it, but
well, because it's them have, the past vendors have provided a quote for LA Derby Dolls with requested materials that would come out to roughly $400. comma, but they're open to suggestions if there is another vendor that is connected to the neighborhood council that may be able to provide a better rate, comma, and that,
Anthony, when you saw that this afternoon, you did not read your email? Because that's exactly what Hugo sent you in your email.
this, I haven't seen this until today.
I haven't even seen this one.
He sent it directly to you.
Yeah, well, I
That
haven't,
when you saw it, if there was a problem with it, you should have called him and said,
I
hey,
haven't seen it, I haven't got on the computer, not
it's
today.
not acceptable, Anthony. You have to have it on your phone.
Well, it's
just like
probably
we
on
all
my
do.
phone. Yeah, it must
Can't
be
you send it to the
here.
executive? Why does it have to
It
go
should,
to?
yeah, it should have been to the executive.
Because then we could have all caught it or something and been participating in it.
That's true.
Let me see, this.
But it's okay.
I don't know what the,
Well, at our
oh, here it
forum,
is.
join us.
Oh, he
Okay.
sent it yesterday, it looks like.
Last night, he sent it.
Yeah, I do see it.
It's-
Nothing, tonight, no. Right, okay. Oh yeah, that was last night at 10:38.
Right after our.
I was still on the street chasing people down. Sheesh. I should, and oddly enough, I mean, just waiting for Michelle to get off subject. One day the cops called me and says, Anthony, we have this guy in the parole office, right? We need evidence to say that, you know, so we could keep him. We want to send him back to jail. And I told the cop right on the phone, like, you guys are calling me at lunchtime, and like, you never told me to take pictures. He says, do you have any pictures? I said, well, I called 911 all these times, you know, check your own logs. So now what I'm doing is, rather than just calling 911, I'm actually taking pictures now.
That's good.
Yeah, and I wish they would have told me this before,
That's right.
but, you know, not even the cops. They know what they're doing, but they didn't tell me this is the type of evidence we need. So I'm like, okay, so now when I'm looking from far, I can have binoculars, I can have one like this. And then zooming in, and I'm taking pictures from like 4 blocks away, and it works. You wouldn't believe you could let me show you, actually, trip out on this. I took these pictures today, and you won't believe how far I am
Binoculars?
through the binoculars. Yeah, yeah, take a look at this.
People were trying to do the eclipse with the glasses on the phone.
Oh, people did. One of my friends did out there
With
in,
the thing.
Winnemucca, Nevada. They sent me the picture. I was like, oh my God, that is so awesome. How did you do that? And he's like, I just put my glasses over the phone and hope for the best.
Mhm. Yeah, my brother did, he went to Oregon actually.
What?
Yeah, to go visit my mom and see the eclipse. So, let me see if I can do this. How does this work? Okay, that's the guy who told me to look, and I'm like way, way far away.
Wow.
If you can see, it's on the phone.
Yeah.
This one you can see, he's smoking a cigarette. But if you look how far I am, you really can't tell I'm 4 blocks away. Yeah. So I put this little thing in the binoculars, and then I go like this and I make it big, and it zooms in, and I snap these pictures from far.
Okay, I think I got it all. Does somebody want to read it? Cynthia, you want to look at this and make sure it's on there?
Okay, I'll read while Cynthia goes through this. Okay. Hold on, baby. Discussion and possible action to participate in the LA Derby Dolls 9th Annual Health Fair with a resource booth to provide community information and LA32 promotional merchandise.
Should it be a comma there?
Comma.
That the council facilitate the opening of El Sereno Senior Center on October 14, 2017 and allow LA Derby Dolls to host the fair there. As they are no longer able to hold the event in their own venue, there's a,
Comma.
Yeah, those right there, I don't think those funds need to be inside there. All that.
Yeah, we're not putting any funds. We're gonna do it at the
At
very
the
end,
end, right, so
right?
that funds not to exceed 200 can be taken out.
You want to take it out? You don't want to leave it exactly like they have it? Because in the end, we're going to put our total right here. We're at the bottom. We're going to put total.
Oh, like
Yeah,
that.
we put
Yeah.
total like we did the other one.
and funds not to
Okay.
exceed 200 and that LA32, should I say NC, provide funding not
No,
to.
but the paper doesn't say it's
Okay, provide funding not to exceed $400 for flyers and printed promotional materials to get the word out to community and increase attendance. Past vendors have provided a quote for LA Derby Dolls requested material that would come out to roughly $400. But they are open to suggestions if there's another vendor that is connected to the council that may be able to provide a better rate. That LA32 supply water and snacks, snack refreshments, snacks.
That's the way they have it.
Okay, sorry,
Put a
refreshments.
comma.
Do you want me to put a comma? They didn't put a comma.
The
There's no
services
comma.
providers who will staff the fair not to exceed $500.
And what's the total?
1,100.
Total funding not to exceed 1,100. So that comes from membership and outreach committee. That one is pretty much complete. What item did you put that for?
16.
16? Okay, let me write that
That's a
down.
paragraph there.
And number 16 item.
Get to the
Okay.
chase. Get her done.
Just next time, we just tell them, hey, you
The
know
last one
what?
we have, actually the last two
So
are
you
from
can read it.
Sports and Recreation Committee. We have two of them from them. There's one that says discussion and possible action at LA 32NC per action, possible action by LA 32NC to purchase workout equipment not to exceed $1,000 and allow equipment to be used by El Sereno Insider free fitness boot camps and basic self-defense classes. Number two is discussion and possible action at LA 32NC support with a resolution letter for the use of the El Sereno Constituent Center second floor gym. This is a, yeah, but that's a different kind of gym. That's
Oh.
the name. It's supposed to be.
I was talking into.
GYM?
GYM.
Oh, my laptop is,
For stakeholders and
hiccuping right now.
especially those in public parking. I was like, who's getting money?
Who's Jim? I know you guys said, why would you? Okay, we'll find out who Jim is right now.
Hold on, baby.
Where are you?
Okay,
So those two
so
are okay, those two
let
motions
me
like
just
this?
speak on that, if you guys need me to.
If you'd like to.
If you want to, yeah. They're-
You don't have to.
Well, I guess
You don't have to, I mean,
Okay,
they
if
go
I
on
can
there
just-
automatically.
They're going automatically, and then you
Okay,
can
that's-
discuss that at the
Okay,
general.
that's fine. That's fine,
Just,
just good.
you know, just come prepared with invoices in case somebody says, where are you gonna buy the equipment from, or did you look for prices, or?
Victor's
Yeah,
gonna
but-
come, and
Okay.
he's gonna provide pictures
Good.
and also,
Yeah, he said he's done a lot of,
some quotes and so
Quotes.
forth, on
Okay.
that, yeah.
Did you ask about that, the permit and all that stuff?
I did,
So this one for the beautification, we did that already?
Yeah,
No?
yes,
yeah.
yeah,
It's
we
on
did,
there.
it's already on there.
It's
What number is that
number,
14?
I'll tell you right now, beautification is,
Number 11.
oh no, we didn't.
Yeah,
No, we
that's what-
didn't.
No, I'm saying, I almost lost it too, because I put it over there and I wasn't.
No,
gonna-
no, no, we
So
haven't.
which one's
Oh,
next?
but wait a minute, it is on our agenda.
Executive, no, it's on the executive, but it's not on the general board yet.
Right.
Where is it? Let's see.
No, we haven't put it on the general board, it's on the it's not on the executive
Okay.
agenda, because he submitted it, it's
Yeah,
on
I
the
got it.
beautification.
But, so we're gonna do that one next or this one tonight?
let's do beautification next because I
What goes under
believe
recommendations?
they're under September, they have an event coming up in September, so, right?
Okay.
And we'll get to mine's, it should be quick.
September.
Oh, no, we do have them, we have it as number 15, that's right, we did
Yeah,
vote.
we did do it.
They're gonna be number 15 on the general board, because
Oh,
they're September
oh,
16, that's
Check
right.
it out.
Yeah, you're
This-
right.
This is why I sort of made a mistake. I have two of these.
Oh.
See?
Yeah.
So one's written on and one's not, but they're
Okay,
both
this is-
identical.
Yeah, they're on number
So it is
15 right here, look.
16, This one is 16,
Discard the extras.
All right, 17.
17 and 18, right? Item.
So Jackie, Sports and Rec is gonna be 17 and 18, correct?
17,
Right.
They're right here already,
18.
they're
okay.
there, cut and
And
paste.
did you fix the word gym? Yes, okay. Okay,
That's gonna be our, why did you put it in capitals? What happened?
so what's
Oh, do you want me-
short for gymnasium?
Yeah, gymnasium,
But all in capitals?
yeah.
It's okay, isn't it?
It's gonna look weird, watch, if you want me to put,
No, it's fine, capitals.
look, like, that looks weird, it doesn't go like that.
Yeah, it's
Abbreviation
always
is,
abbreviation, J, what?
yeah, that's how I always knew it.
I don't never heard of that.
Teacher,
I'm
do you have
gonna
a
tell you
teacher?
right now, abbreviate gym. I've never seen that. But okay, go ahead.
Okay. So those are been submitted. We don't have no more committee recommendations.
We do have an MPG that I'd like to submit at this time.
Yes?
It
Okay.
was emailed, it comes in from Wilson High School. Here you go.
Mhm.
Here's your copy.
Thank you very much.
Here's your copy. Here, pass on along the copies over there. These are two.
Here you go, Jackie.
This is an MPG, it was submitted by Wilson High School, who would like to support the softball program for Wilson, all-girls softball program. So,
Okay, I did see a couple of times on the emails, not yesterday, but earlier in the week, that you asked him that he had to get a couple signatures from the principal. and
Yes, because
the vice principal
his
and-
first MPG said
Girls
Wilson
softball, something like
softball, and that's not an if it's an
Right,
organization,
yeah.
it needs to be close
That's what I did, I called him
If
and I
it's an
said,
MPG, then it
go
needs
to
to
the
have, yeah.
school.
And he has a federal ID number.
Yeah, so he already fixed it all up.
Excellent.
So the only thing we need is to know when he needs it by. If you look at the back,
Oh,
the start date, the date fund required, and expected completion date. He needs it by June, by October. So I don't know where, right now, how much do we have in the MPG category? I'll tell you right now.
Oh, he does have the signatures down here.
Let's go to
Principal
the
and assistant
MPG
principal.
category. MPG category, we have $2,000.
When he's asking for-
Because Azatlán already got their 1,500, so we have $2,000 left.
Balls and ball buckets.
Aslan.
Ball control.
They got
Troy,
Have
Their
you-
MPG?
Oh,
they submitted an MPG,
Ball.
remember?
oh, yeah, yeah.
So they're asking for
And they got it already.
the 1,000?
Almost, it's
Almost,
924.
yeah.
Oh, okay, 924.88.
What about Shakespeare? Remember we gave 1,000 to Shakespeare?
Yes,
I just want you to
we
remember.
But
did.
that didn't come out of neighborhood.
Yeah, we took it all the way down from like 3 or 4,000, he was asking to 1.
Yeah,
Where are we gonna take that out of?
That one comes out of MPGs. 'cause he was
MPG, right here.
it's already been taken out, right?
The 1,000?
I don't know, I haven't gotten no paperwork, I haven't submitted nothing through the funding system, because I wasn't there, so I don't have that board
Do you have
vote.
a tally for that?
Which one?
For the,
MPG for the
Shakespeare?
Shakespeare that we voted on in special board meeting.
I should in my notebook.
No, I have it right here.
Gee, if you have it there, give it to me right now, so I can,
We need to always give those to Michelle, right? To be,
Okay, it'll
to be sent through all MPGs and, yeah, the funding ones. But the non-funding, I'm gonna give her on September 6th a binder, because I got binders already with dividers, and all the board votes that are non-funding, she's gonna start holding them.
It started off at 2,500. Hugo made a motion, Jackie made a motion to
I
reduce
just
it
need
to
the final
1,000.
motion, that LA 32,
Stephanie and Cynthia, 801.
so what is it, the LA 32 and C?
It says, discussion and possible action that LA 32 Neighborhood Council support the MPG application for the Shakespeare Center in amount of 1,000.
yes.
Spell Shakespeare,
Just like a
Shake.
shake, S-H-A-K-E,
And then Spear.
S-P-E-A-R-E,
R-E-A-R-E.
correct, center. And then it's 1,000, and then it says, which would be held at the Lummis House. I don't know if that makes a difference.
And then give us some.
no, just like that, 1,000.
It was
Okay, so-
Stephanie made the,
Give me the names of the
Motion
board
and Cynthia?
members.
oh, let me see. It would be everyone except me, so it was you were there. So it'd be Jackie, voted yes. Stephanie
you
was
have the
there.
notes? I think Jackie did.
It's not this one, but
Right, Stephanie was there,
Oh,
because
everybody voted except,
Cynthia was there, right?
yeah.
Hugo was there.
Aaron,
Aaron,
Karina,
Hugo, let me see, she's got, Karina was there, Marcia was there.
yes,
Sani was there.
yes.
We have to get up to 8. Wasn't Joe Luna there?
Yes, Joe was there, he voted.
Was
too.
there Luna? Yes. Who was there? And Karina, and was,
Marcia.
yes, and was Kathy there?
Kathy
No.
was there.
Not
Kathy
sure.
was there? No.
She wasn't at our last meeting?
No,
Yes, she was.
at the cocina, remember?
No, no, I have her here.
Oh, La Cocina. she
Oh,
was.
you know what?
Kathy was not.
Duh, I would have it too. Look at this. Okay, it was Aaron, Anthony, Jackie, Karina, Jose, Sani, Cynthia, Hugo, Stephanie. I always marked down everyone who's there. I'm not really trying to go by memory. Look, you
I
see?
know, yeah.
So it was, yeah, there, Aaron?
Yep.
Okay, Aaron, me, Jackie Carrillo, Karina Cruz, Jose Luna, Sani Abdul-Jabbar, Marcia, Cynthia, Hugo, and Stephanie. So how many is that so far? 8?
Cynthia, yes.
Yes.
Right, no, that was the director's present, but one left early, but the actual vote was 801.
Yeah.
So it'd be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9.
Who
Yeah,
else
no,
before I
yeah.
put you as abstain?
No, you have one more person too much, Anthony. So, but one person left, so who do you think left
So
early?
Jackie,
But how many of
Stephanie,
us were
Hugo,
there?
Karina,
Marcia
Sani.
left.
No, not Jackie, Kathy.
Jackie,
It was not Jackie. See?
Yes.
It You mean it was not,
It was not Kathy, it was Jackie. Jackie's
right, no,
name.
Kathy Leal was not there.
Wait,
It was
that's
Karina
her
Cruz.
name, That's Karina.
Yes, okay, Karina Cruz, yes. But so what happened is, see how it says 9 directors plus 1?
Well, you have to give me
Some left.
everybody in attendance and then we'll put absence on the ones that left. Cause I need to
But
put that they were
But I
absent.
don't remember who exactly it was.
Okay.
3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Yeah, I don't remember
What day
exactly,
was that?
exactly.
What
Cause
day was that?
Anthony and Manzano abstains.
Yes, I did.
So
It was
who
under-
left early? Was it Sani? Was it Karina? So I
Marcia.
can.
It was Marcia.
Marcia
Okay.
left.
Everybody
She was very.
And
Yeah, she
then-
was very ill and she said, I have to go.
Okay, so we got her as absent.
And didn't Sonny leave because he had his anniversary that night?
Yes,
Okay.
but he voted though.
He
He
voted.
did, he stayed to the end,
Yeah, he-
okay, so.
No, he voted and then he left.
Right,
And
so I'm
excuse
trying to figure out who was the last one. We have to get this number, 801, see right here? But I don't know.
You got
who-
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8.
Okay.
Said yes, and one abstain and one absent.
And Marcia left, perfect then. Okay, so then that's what it turns out.
So I will print this and I'll have, I'll email it to Cynthia so you could sign it, scan it, and send back to me.
Tuesday, August.
I need the extra application too.
I have it from last time.
Oh, it's right here. This is, oh, but we reduced this. This is for the Shakespeare. This is what you mean, right?
Yeah. That's a Shakespeare?
Yeah, but we changed the dollar amount, remember?
Yeah, they're not gonna get that because their
No, no.
board vote
Yeah, I
said
know.
something
Exactly.
different.
So
The
maybe
board
if you
vote
want
This
to-
is it? No, this is just partial. I need the actual thing.
Oh.
Where the double,
Oh, well,
Did they email it to us? Because I can find it in my email if they emailed it to
I would
us.
probably have it the month
I
prior.
think he walked it in, right? Because he said, I don't know what's going on, but I have more
I would have
copies.
it the month prior, yeah, because he gave it to us the month before, so I would have it also.
Yeah. Find it.
Do you want me to check if they emailed it to us and I could just
I
print
don't
that
think
one?
you did email it, but you could look.
Oh,
I don't remember him emailing it to us.
I know I have it from last time.
What was his name?
His name is Matt
No, the guy's name is,
May?
Paul.
Mackley, Paul
Oh,
Mackley.
yeah, there you go, Paul.
I was trying to say Mackley, Paul Mackley. Hi. Oliver.
It was probably in my other folder.
At this point, I have so much information in my head, like I'm like. So it's Paul Mackley, M-A-C-K-L-E-Y. You don't find it? I should have it right here.
I've never seen
What
it.
happened is I've saved all those archives that I have in the folder, and I've only go back 1 month because I got a new binder.
So it's August, August what?
I've lost-
Second, right?
I just checked, well, I just checked the July meeting, and I don't have it in July either.
It wasn't in our general board July meeting?
July 5th,
Yes, I
no.
have seen it. Oh, that's at that time.
So I would have it in my June, but I have that in the senior center, that locker up there.
July is only the
Yeah, I have the
petition.
one from Troy. Right, and then PG from Troy. So he must have gave it to us in June.
I remember seeing something like that on email.
He gave it to us when he came to our general board meeting. He said, I don't know what happened, but can you
Yeah.
tell me how to do this? I've already sent this
Yeah, I know,
email
here's
out
his
to you
card.
several times.
I save
And
everything. And I would have it also, but I actually would have it in the senior
Maybe
center
I didn't see it.
because of this little folder I have only worked back 1 month. Okay, so you need to get it,
This first page, right? Is that what you're saying?
I gave her the first page, but she said she needs the whole thing.
I have a plan.
Yeah, that was in July also. Do you have more paperwork further back in July, Cynthia?
I'm looking, sir.
Oh, okay.
One moment, please. So we know it was in July 5th.
The Cal State, no,
The same
Aspen Hill,
August.
no.
Maybe if we search for the guy's name, Paul Macklin will come in.
Yeah, type it in and see if it'll come up on your
I
end.
would have been a participant in that one.
No, they usually send it to the entire board, the
Yeah,
email.
I'm gonna
Yeah.
check real fast if I can find that and see how. So I gotta go here, go to mail.
No, I went too far. I'm in March MPG. Hold on, let's go back.
Search P-A-U-L. Mac.
Oh,
Can we count my phone too, baby?
don't even tell me that we all don't have it.
I don't even have an email from them. Sir? I don't have no emails from the guy.
I know, I don't either. So then maybe he never did email it. He must have just,
I put, right, that he
Yeah,
did,
He
put Paul Mac.
he handed it to all of us with that
Your name
flyer.
doesn't come up as an
Maybe
email.
look
No,
at
he
Shakespeare.
handed it to us
Oh, okay,
with
yeah,
the
yeah.
flyer.
Good idea, let me do that. I'm gonna check under Shakespeare.
yeah, I tried that one too. Maybe.
I have,
Or Macbeth.
I have, oh, you
Oh,
do?
Macbeth.
Look under Shakes.
What about
Shake-
Macbeth?
Macbeth.
Oh, but you got one, but not me, let me see. Oh, that goes to June, so check if it's on there, it's an attachment.
If it is, forward it to me and I'll print it and send it with this. That's the only two things we need for me to submit it in the funding system.
I don't see any attachments though.
Is it June 28th?
I know I flagged it, but I don't see any attachments.
There was no
Should I try
attachments?
calling the guy?
Yeah.
Let me see, I
He's
haven't,
gonna be like,
that I
"Excuse
I
me,
know I have
No,
his
let's
phone
not
number.
call him. Let's try to find it first.
Oh,
No, he's gonna be like, what,
You
really?
guys actually don't have.
You guys
my
don't have
stuff.
it?
We
Again?
have a hard copy, sir, but we really need it digital.
So good.
You're so funny.
You just got recorded. I'm just kidding.
I don't just speaking my mind.
So you have an email from him, but how come mine didn't search for his email?
Do you want me to email him since you
'Cause you
guys
never
were at the
open
meeting
your
and I
email.
wasn't? I could say, oh, hello,
Maybe you
I haven't
trashed
gotten it.
it.
I'm the treasurer, I need it.
Yeah,
If
someone
it's a digital
use-
copy, I'll save you guys. Just give me his email.
Use
I don't
it.
even have that either.
Where's the flyer?
Shakes.
Oh, I'm gonna do
The
that again.
flyer you
Shake.
just had in your hand, sweetie, has the email on it. Remember you showed it to us?
The flyer.
The little
Yeah.
flyer?
Get it so that Michelle can email him, please. The little baby
I
flyer
put
that you showed us.
Shakespeare,
Yeah, that one.
ShakespeareFestival.org, Chris. I don't know that, that's probably something else.
I mean, if you guys want to email him, you guys can email him then.
I would just call the guy on the phone.
Okay, let me try typing that whole name.
Oh, that's Shakespeare.
Yeah, it was not an attachment in our August 2nd meeting. That's when he
Oh.
came and he said, I don't know what's happening, but I really would like to be on your agenda, so.
So he did hand walk in.
And he
Yeah,
hand walked
her
one
phone says
in,
he
but I
sent it to the
don't
whole
see
board,
it.
Right,
Yes.
right, Jackie?
He did?
That's what it
Yeah,
says.
he walked it in.
On June 5th? Okay, let me do, what's the subject?
You
Of
could
his
search by
email.
subject?
No, on the top, the subject of the email, what is it called?
Macbeth.
Oh, it's like Stephanie said. MACBE. Macbeth what?
At the Loomis House for Students.
At the,
Loomis
I have on
House.
my phone under Paul Shakespeare. Should I call the guy?
Yeah, call him. Say,
Let's say call him and ask him to send us a.
digital
Digital?
copy right
Digital.
now, because we need to put it on our agenda.
that was June
No,
5th?
no, that it's not on the agenda,
No.
that we're processing.
When was that email, Jackie?
June 5th.
And I gave you this, let me just.
Yeah,
I
you
bet
can
you
keep
it's in a, I think it's in a bag that I have at home probably, because I don't even see the flyer, the Shakespeare flyer that he gave us all.
Give him the exec board email.
Yeah.
Oh, look at, I'm lying.
Hello,
Hold
Paul.
on.
Good evening. This is Anthony Manzano, leaving a message. Today's Wednesday, and we're just following up and processing your
Just typed it.
neighborhood
I
purposes
just
grant for
typed everything
$1,000
that
from
they
Alley
gave
32
us.
Neighborhood Council. And I do have your signed application here on page 2, and obviously on the front you have Macbeth at the Lummis House. But we'd like to have a digital copy so we could put this on our websites and send this documents over through emails and whatnot to downtown to process funding. So if you could just email the entire executive board, which is execboard@l832nc.org. That'll help us out and get this funding to you as quickly as possible. Just digitally is all we need. We have your paperwork here before us. So for processing, we just like a digital copy of your neighborhood purposes grant application. And hopefully we'll see you soon at your event at the Lummis Home. Thank you very much. Bye-bye. Do you have the thing you mentioned, Cynthia?
What's that?
The whole application?
No, I don't.
So when, okay, so back to this MPG, what number do you want to put this MPG as?
Oh, that one's for today. Okay, let me save this. This one is for Wilson.
Now, oh yeah, according to the due dates, they need it by,
And this is a full application, two sides like this?
yeah, that's it.
Yes,
Wow.
front and back.
Okay. So what did you need the front of this one for then? I mean, I guess
The front of a,
the Macbeth
The
one?
section 2.
yeah.
Oh, to tell you why he needs to spend the money?
Yeah.
Okay. So for the Woodrow Wilson, it'll be going
And if
after,
you look at these dates right here, it says the start date, the required, when they need it by October 1st.
yeah, I would put that one at the end of all the committee recommendations, which would be
Okay.
the next item 19, looks like.
Oh, that's a long wait for them to sit there.
Is he gonna be coming
Who
with
is
the
that?
school and all this stuff?
Cool.
Ike, this is a softball. It's a long wait.
All of these other people have been waiting for 3 months, and he just barely asked us last week, so I think that he's gonna have to wait. He understands the process, just tell him. These the last
He
one?
needs it October 1st, and all of these are
Check it out.
September.
I do have the front side right here. Is that how it comes like this? Two halves,
Yeah, that's it.
right? 1, 2?
Yeah.
Yeah,
If
that's
you
it.
want this one.
Yeah, and I'll give it back to you after I scan it.
That's okay. I didn't notice because
Yeah, that's it.
actually the front of that is, what is on the other side of that?
His flyer, his
No, no, the back
explanation.
one.
Uh,
Oh, it's the
The
back of
agenda.
the agenda.
well, I'll just scan these two.
Someone gave it to me like
Oh, I
that.
printed those.
Is that how you did it? That's why I didn't,
Yeah.
that's why I didn't realize, it didn't dawn on me that I had it on.
Yeah, what date was that?
The eighth, it was at the special meeting, but I didn't realize it was attached to the
yeah.
back of the agenda.
Yeah, it is, it's attached.
You
See, there it
right
is right there, and then it's,
You see?
there it is.
Yeah, that's,
That's the front.
Oh, the,
no. Oh, yeah, you got the front, right, okay, yeah, I know, it's right there. Well, you got it.
okay,
Woo! So where would you guys like to put them? They need it by October 1st, and we got the committees, September 15th, beautification 1st. What
I
is
still
it?
feel it should go probably at the end of the committee recommendations. I know it might seem long and say, oh, you have to sit here all day or all night. Yeah, I don't know if he's gonna bring kids, who knows? Maybe if at that time if this Isaac approaches one of the board
We'll
members.
tell
and
them
they
to
wanna
come in
move
the
it,
end.
Or if someone wants to move the item out of order, they could hear it earlier.
We'll just
But-
tell them to prepare to come towards the end, so he
Okay.
doesn't sit through 2 hours.
if there's students with him that
That's what I'm saying,
Yeah,
because he
exactly.
might bring
We
students.
could
Yeah, I don't
also
know.
move it
It
out
says-
of order.
It says Wilson right here, so I'm figuring.
We
he
can
might
move it
wanna-
out of order because it's a school day,
And the
and they
kids
probably
are-
have to go
girls are
back home
probably
after. They'll probably already convene, because they might have practice, and then they'll probably all show up.
That's true.
Let's play by ear.
Yeah.
But I'm just saying, his request only came in just a few days ago, and all these other requests have been out on, like, for 3
Yeah,
months.
it's actually, what was the request?
No, his request
Longer.
didn't come just a few days, it came,
A while ago. And then I had a, yeah.
it's been a while. And then we had to tell him it's wrong, redo it, and.
Could we
never
say that
redo
it was
I know,
already
I
a
called
month,
him.
or would
I
you say
called
it was?
him.
Yeah,
only
it was a
weeks?
month.
Yeah,
But he reached out to me and I then go back.
and then he tried to get it, and then when he brought it, it was wrong, so then I had to send it back to him and say, it's wrong, redo it. Then he finally redid it.
I read that, but he needed
Yeah.
signature, right? He needed signature?
He had it wrong.
It's
He-
his first
yeah.
time. I mean, we
Yeah.
all
Okay, all right, well, then it's just,
So
we'll
for
see,
item
we'll pay.
19? I'll put right here.
We'll
Item
play it by ear.
number,
Okay, how would you like to word that? That LA 32 and C approve?
approve the neighborhood purposes grant submitted by Woodrow Wilson High School in the amount of, and it was $924.88. And then put what it's for, which is for the Wilson softball. Oh.
What's the
Wilson,
amount? 920?
$924.88. And then it's for the Wilson softball program.
88 cents.
Would this be the first time that LA32 has ever helped out the softball team?
The
Yeah.
softball team, yes. But we helped out with the garden at Wilson. Did we do a garden for them once? And
Yeah.
something else, huh?
Because I know that we do every year.
Well, no, we
First-
helped them with kindergarten area and Wilson High School. We tried doing the paint for them.
Yeah, but prior to that, they didn't have a
Softball program? Softball, like that?
Was
That
it
LA
soft-
32 and C approved the MPG submitted by Woodrow Wilson High School for the amount of $924.88 for the Wilson softball program.
Um,
Yeah.
yes.
Okay.
Oh, So
I have a question. Are we going to do the rating for that, so that day?
the evaluation, they call it.
The evaluation, yeah. We're still rating.
Mhm.
That's a long
Well,
process.
yeah, it's
We
not-
haven't been doing it.
Yep.
We haven't
You
been.
know that
It's
it's,
not adjourned yet because there's still 10, 11, and 12.
No, I
for
know,
today's-
I just put it
Okay.
there, but we'll move it down. What Cynthia's talking about, is it required? Well, obviously, we've been doing MPGs without it. It's like a 4-page survey
Yes.
where we go back and forth, because we're trying to
We have to
pretty much
evaluate.
find out if this MPG
But
is
we know-
specifically only for here, because we prefer to
If
give the
there's
money
benefits,
to
right, if
only
there's
here
benefits.
versus something that has nothing to do with us versus, like, this is gonna go straight to the girls here that live here.
And we
I wish I
already,
could give
we
them
already
more.
know, yeah, we
you
already
know?
know that it's here, so.
yeah.
And we're gonna ask the questions ourselves, is it for the girls here, is it for these right here, Wilson and I?
Which it's gonna
Yeah.
be, so.
And we did that at your committee, right? So you
Yes.
pretty much already got like a background on what it is and who they are and how.
Well,
No, it didn't go through a committee.
no.
MPGs right now are
I added it
executive
to
board.
mine just in case they had showed up, but, just to talk about it, but cause I knew it was probably gonna be an MPG.
Oh,
So I didn't know which way it would go. But, and I know Stallions haven't approached us yet, but I'm sure they will pretty soon. Maybe. But. I
Now,
think
we
that's
have to
great.
make sure that they put patches and stickers on all that stuff.
yeah,
we
I
have
talked to
stickers.
him and I said, you know where to get patches? He goes, no. I go, well, I know where you can get some other stuff, but I don't know patches either. Where could he get patches? At the trophy store? Do they have, they do them
He
there?
makes patches on it.
Also, maybe you want to suggest that to me.
Or we could put stickers
Because I
on.
talked to him today.
They could always put it on their website too, on the Wilson,
Well, we're discussing
softball.
it, so let's not discuss it, right?
Okay, we can discuss it.
I know, or
Okay, item. So yeah, so that one's number 19
Yeah,
for the MPG, which is from Woodrow Wilson High School.
got it.
And we've pretty much concluded, or I'm not gonna close item, which was 4, which is, it says committee recommendations, which we've accepted all those
So we have to go back to
in
the
writing.
item we
Yes,
were
so
working
now
on.
today we are on,
Item 9.
we did item 9, which
Okay, item
was the,
10.
yes. Discussion and possible action that alley to introduce a resolution asking the city of Los Angeles to divest from Wells Fargo. That was an email that was sent to me, I believe, was that the one forwarded you, by you, Cynthia, or someone else reached me? Someone else sent me that email asking us to take a position. It was a big old long thing. Veronica's name was on the email, so I put her name there. And yeah, like invest, if you want to give money to you, divest is take money back. So basically, this lady, Veronica, has data that the Wells Fargo has not been a good banking partner to the city.
Of course,
I
it's the
believe,
second time.
right, I
Right.
believe the city itself has taken a position, which is City Hall. And she wants more support from all the neighborhood councils. So I would just put it on there the way it's written. If she comes to speak on it, we can hear her proposal. And what I could also do is maybe forward her email that she sent to me to all the board, if they want to read all, however many pages came in it. And we could take action. I'm not, how would you say, I'm not trying to push this issue, it's not up to me.
Right, but she rather,
But
asked.
she asked, so if the girl, what I'm saying, if she arrives,
Okay.
she can speak on it, and then I'm gonna say, is there anyone here to speak on this item? Veronica, you here? If she comes up, we hear it. If she's no Veronica, well, it gets a circle.
Okay,
But that's not coming from a committee, so when we do something like that, don't they have to have 50 signatures to put it on there as a stakeholder
Well,
initiative?
that's why I thought that's why I put it on today's agenda, because I thought Veronica was gonna be here.
Well, then I
so she
don't,
could always bring the 50 signatures to the board meeting, right?
who's
she
gonna
can.
contact her and tell her that?
Meaning if she wants us to take a position?
Yeah, we have to have a 50 signature
Right,
stakeholder
the
initiative.
stakeholder
It can't just
initiative,
go, it didn't go to a committee, like you said, it didn't go to
Right.
executive board.
Right,
So,
and that's why I put it on today's agenda, so she could be here, so we could talk about it,
but she didn't come.
but she's not here.
So then now what do we do
So-
with it? Send it
Well,
to a
what
committee?
we could do is, I could circle it today, and
Right,
it never goes to the general board,
that's right.
and I'm gonna tell Veronica and say, hey, you know what, we put you on our executive committee agenda,
You didn't
you
come.
didn't show up, and none of the officers wanted it to move it forward. If we do
What
wanna move
committee?
it forward, it would, oh.
Because she's not coming from a committee
Right.
recommendation,
But
she's
I'm saying if
coming
we-
as herself.
But if we wanna give her time to talk, we would just take away possible action and give her speaking time at the general board meeting.
And then
we
that
don't-
would be in the very beginning of the meeting then,
And we
right?
don't vote on nothing.
That
But
would be,
then that would defeat the purpose, because she's gonna say, well, why am I gonna talk if you're not gonna take a stand? So might as
That's
well
what she should've
recommend
came
her.
today.
So they recommend her to a
you
committee.
come- You come with the 50 signatures or come to the executive board and.
Well, she would have to have brought it right
You're
now.
right, she would have to have the 50 signatures now.
Either way, I think, what committee would it go to this?
We don't have, probably,
We don't have a
Budget and
marketing
Finance Committee.
committee or.
We can't,
it's
somebody,
not our money, but it does deal with funding. And what it is she's trying to ask the city hall to say, stop using the Bank of America.
And
Excuse me, Wells Fargo.
yeah, and, and we don't have a Wells Fargo in El Sereno, but anyway, well, ATM. But she's asking for neighborhood council support and
Yes.
helping to, right?
So you're saying if we put it on the agenda, we would be able to take a stand on September 6th?
No.
We can't, because it's not a stakeholder
No,
initiative. It has
we
to have 50 signatures or more.
Right, I put discussion and possible action because I gave the
executive
girl,
board, us
Veronica,
to.
a chance
Does
to
it
come
have to have an
today.
initiative?
Yes,
If she wants us to vote on it.
yes, yes, it has to.
Or it
because
has to go
didn't
through a
come from the
committee, right?
Or a committee, correct. Yeah, exactly.
So if we
But then
were.
didn't you put it here so executive committee could move it forward? So
Right.
we would decide.
But she's not here to
She's
give
not
us her
here.
input.
Oh, okay,
So we're
okay.
deciding on what, on ourselves? We could, because it's on our agenda.
Like, I would
could.
like for her to be here to ask her more questions.
Yes, I would.
Right,
also.
and it wouldn't be fair because the other woman that came last month
That's
walked
true.
in the initiative of 50 signatures. Oh, and plus I have the whole envelope of all the other supporters.
I talk about the building
So
stuff.
are we gonna take it off
It
this
wouldn't be
agenda then
right.
right now?
It's
I
up
think
to
we
you
should,
guys.
I think we
You
should,
feel
we should
There's no
probably
point in
reach
letting
to
her talk, because then she's gonna talk and say, so you can't vote? That's gonna be a little bit more harsh, that she's just gonna be able to talk and not vote?
Yeah,
Is there-
we would have to explain to her that this is the process, it's a stakeholder initiative, and we can't do anything because it has
If
not.
not, it
been-
has to go through a committee other than executive.
And we need to reach out and let her know so we're not shy.
Maybe,
shutting her
I
out.
don't think this is budget and finance, this is
No.
maybe bylaws or land use, or if it's us, it has to be another night other than agenda setting night.
Would it be outreach?
It's
Maybe
not
outreach.
How would it be outreach? It's
It's not
not
outreach, it has to
stuff.
do with money.
Yeah, this is, it deals with.
But it has
money.
nothing to do with
It's
LA
not
32
our
money.
budget.
Right.
It's not our
So
budget
it's not
and
budget and
finance.
finance, because
No.
we're not moving our money.
So it'd have to
Right.
go back to executive again next
So then
month.
we would have to do it on another night, that, other than the agenda setting. So we could sit there and really give it time, or,
We would have to call another executive board meeting and make quorum, listen to her, see what she has to say. But still, she needs a
a
stakeholder
committee,
initiative.
or a committee
Somebody should
recommendation. So then
reach
put it
out
back
to
to
her.
executive next month, Anthony.
Then what we do is we circle it like this.
Yeah,
reach out to her
reach
again
out
and
to
let
her,
her know
Anthony, and tell her
That
that
means,
what she needs.
yeah, that means it goes
We
back
actually
to
needed you to
executive.
be
Okay, so I'm
Tonight.
taking it off the
Yeah.
draft here.
and explaining to her what the process.
Okay, next one.
The next one says,
You have
presentation, discussion, and possible action regarding equitable cannabis reform, California Minority Alliance. They're a group that also sent an email to Cynthia, and she forwarded it to me, asking for time on the agenda.
Right.
Didn't they come to the last board meeting?
Not talking about, did they come to the last?
Or
To
was
the
that the
exec?
same, was that the same meeting?
This
They
is
came
something
to
about-
a meeting, but she actually sent me an email with all of their brochures, all of their mission statements and everything, so.
Oh, that's right. You were the one
I
that sent me
forwarded
the
it
one
to
from
you.
Wells Fargo. See, this is the girl Veronica. She sent it to you, see Jackie.
Oh, yeah, she's seen the president.
Yeah, so you could, just going back real quick, it just says, Dear Anthony, thank you very much for the message informing Alec of the emergency resolution process. I'm seeing Ben Hawk of Divest LA, who can provide details and more information about the request if needed be before your August 30th meeting. And then today's August 30th, so they're not here.
Yeah, and they didn't provide any more information?
This is my response to her. Good day, Veronica and directors. This item will be placed on the executive committee agenda to hear, which I did.
Which they're supposed to be there.
And we are able to provide a resolution after the board takes an action. I understand the community impact statement may be the best way to introduce the board's position, but we have not yet assigned someone to that task. After the board makes a decision, I can prepare a written document
So you
that
already
provides
told
the
them.
board's position and the fact included is. We will be having our executive committee meeting August the 30th and to make a recommendation. We will keep you informed of the location so that you may be able to attend and provide a description of your presentation to the full board. So all she needs is a presentation to the full board, but we can't take an action. That would be for the one we just did with the banking, the Wells Fargo banking. But no one's here. So the next one is the equitable, what do you call it? Equitable cannabis reform?
It's called California Minority Alliance.
Yes.
And Anya Titova reached out to me, and I communicated with her through email on the day of, let's see, Okay, so what happened was Anya reached out to me, I'm reaching out to you on behalf of the California Minority Alliance, a nonprofit organization dedicated to equitable cannabis reform. Attaches a letter introducing the organization in full and outlining one of the policy models. We look forward to working with you in the future. And I sent it to you. Anthony, please read thoroughly if you would like, and we could forward it to the executive board. And then I wrote back, Anthony, please share this email with the executive board. I'm going to reach out to the representative Friday, August 25th. And then I reached out to Anya on the date of August 29th, which was last night, yesterday at 5:01. Our executive board meeting will be this Wednesday, August 30th at 7 p.m. Please attend so any questions and/or concerns can be addressed. Thank you for reaching out to us. We look forward to seeing you.
So we circle that one too, because no one's
Because
here?
they're not
She
here.
didn't come. So I'm just showing you that there was a.
Yeah, correct.
And there was
Thank
no
you.
response, and nobody showed.
All right.
Question about this, is this for it or against it?
Well, we would,
We would take a stand.
I know, but are they asking that they want us to say it's good for everybody, or is it
I
bad?
think what they're trying to say, because I did read it, and it was a, remember you said read
it's
it
a
all?
long, lengthy email.
They're trying to say that some communities
I
have
asked him to forward it.
oversaturation of
Of-
medical marijuana dispensaries.
Which is true.
And they're trying to say, keep them all, like, example, 10 in every little community, or 3 in every community. So
Love
that,
that.
example, South Central doesn't have 100 shops.
5 on one street, it's ridiculous.
Yeah, so that's what they're trying to do, equitable cannabis reform, meaning that it's on everywhere. So I'm just gonna circle that one, because no one's here to speak on it tonight. And those will be carried over to the next month's executive committee agenda, and we'll reach out to them and
This
tell them
right
they
here,
need to show up.
this right here, I know that would bring a lot of people, a lot of stakeholders, because it's so,
Oh, yeah, it's a hot button topic right
Okay,
now.
it's
so
very
same like- okay,
important
so
for
same like-
people.
same
So
like
we
the
have to
Wells Fargo
send
one.
it, we have
Do
to
you
send
think we
it
should
back.
put them on
to
the
the
agenda just
exec-
for discussion and presentation only, but no action?
No, they should come and they should speak at public comment time.
3
And-
minutes.
Yes, and then we can send them back to the executive board. Because they have to follow some type of
Yeah.
process.
Right,
But we want to shy them away, shun them away.
So I want to invite them back. I'll reach out to her tomorrow and
Okay.
explain to her what happened. She didn't show up. I sent her an email. There's,
But then also let them know that just because they speak, all 20 people speak 3 minutes public comment.
no.
It's tell them they're gonna be assigned
How
route.
about if we give them
We
a
only-
5-minute presentation and just say, you know what, it's not public comment, we could put you on the agenda, you could speak whoever's from California Minority Alliance.
but that would be the
Yeah.
same thing we do at Wells Fargo,
Yeah.
and that's not fair because there's
But
no
it's not,
stakeholder
but
initiative.
we're not voting, just talk to us. So
It's just
that,
they're talking about the
Public
reform.
comment.
They could do it in public
It
comment.
covers us, that they're actually able to speak, just give them their 3 minutes. Tell them that whoever's gonna speak has 3 minutes. Put all of their information together. If more people wanna speak, you just have to consolidate within 3 minutes.
Right. I would love to,
We've done that with all of the others. We've done that with
Yeah.
the ones that wanted to change everything into that other,
okay,
I think that, too, this, because, there was so many people coming in when that first, place popped up over by the old pharmacy building. And, they were so frustrated with everything happening and that got shut down fast. But I think that the reform and their importance of doing this would be informative to us as stakeholders, also people who live in the neighborhoods, because it is something that needs to be dealt with.
so it's September 6th, right?
yeah, they both get a circle from me, because, we're not gonna put it, we're not moving them forward.
Right.
Yeah, we're gonna reach back out to them and tell them, if
So
you
now-
really want, you have a 3-minute time period to talk, and then from there, we'll,
Okay, so now we go
Direct
on to
you.
12, committee appointments.
You already have that on the president's report.
Yeah,
Just make sure that they're all on there. Let me go up to, president's
the
report.
beautification committee, I don't know if it needs,
Yes, we had an email from Julio Torres. He wanted to be on that committee.
okay,
He
so that one's on
emailed,
there.
yeah, he emailed, I don't know if he emailed exec, but I know he emailed Sani, Kathy, and for whatever reason, I was CC'd on there.
There's another member on there though.
No, there's only 2,
That
which is,
18-year-old.
there's no, oh, that's right.
oh yeah, we
Oh,
do
yeah, yeah.
have her
She
from
was there
ESCCC.
already on that meeting.
Oh.
Yeah,
was
she's
there.
there. Her name is Savannah.
Savannah, yes.
Yeah, she's
How about
already on there.
membership and outreach? That one doesn't need any more people?
Yeah, she's there.
No, that's myself,
Land use?
Hugo, and Yoli.
Okay, land use.
Land use
one.
needs a whole board.
One, just one. So Jorge Garcia's on it, and we appointed someone last month, the guy, I can't remember his name, it was on my paper.
Should
Oh, from
you,
the college.
should you start appointing for, election? Or are we
Oh,
going
they
into a
moved it to
third term?
2019.
No.
It voted and passed. They're moving it to 2019.
So we're gonna do, how is that gonna work in our bylaws?
Well, that's why the bylaws has
That-
to re-meet
I
again.
asked that question, and Thompson said that they will follow up with that, because they might have to open up the bylaws again, the following year.
Okay, so arts and culture doesn't, I put one for land use,
So
one.
you know what that means, right?
Yeah, that means we have
We're
to work
stuck
with each other for another 2 years.
No, I wasn't even gonna say that. I was gonna say, we got $8,000 to use, because election outreach expense
Oh,
is
save
not
the
gonna be
money.
used.
Save it,
Oh,
save it.
yeah, we can save that.
Save it.
For
Yeah.
2019, huh?
No,
That's,
no, just, not for
Won't
2019,
carry
there's no rollover, right?
Oh,
But
that's
just
right.
save it in case there's other big projects coming up at the end of the year.
so it'll sit there till we decide to
Yes.
reallocate it, just so you guys know.
Yes,
That look,
category 500
yeah.
elections. So arts and culture doesn't need anything? Should we just put them all on there
Oh,
Ad
yes,
hoc.
you need another member, because you only have 2 there right now.
for arts and culture?
Yeah, you only got 2.
Wait,
I have
wait,
to
wait.
check my.
We
Oh, I
have
want
three.
You only got,
remember?
you only got Jackie and Karina.
Anita. He assigned Anita.
Anita Besher?
Oh, okay, then no, you don't need people.
But that's what I was talking to Anthony about. It's a lot of responsibility, and so I wanted to kind of, since I'm doing so much already, I'd probably step down.
Okay, so this one, just leave it on there, arts and culture committee?
So you don't want to be the,
I don't want to be
Ad
the
hoc-
chair.
Ad hoc voter engagement committee?
so maybe,
Vice president?
Well, Marcia resigned, so she's not on that committee no more, which is the
No.
ad hoc voter engagement committee.
right,
It does have Sani
it's me,
and
No.
you.
Or
yes.
ad hoc, yeah, Cynthia.
So it
Sonny's
needs-
not
it
on
needs
there.
one, right?
Sonny's not on there.
No, on ad hoc voter
No,
engagement,
he
who is
doesn't
it?
want to participate. It's just me and Cynthia.
It's
Oh,
just
you?
Jackie and I.
Okay, so one person here.
And Marcia, because she resigned, we have to put her on the agenda too. Because she resigned and we have to
That'll be on
re-
president's
It's just an
report. Let me
announcement.
go up.
All it is an announcement.
Do you want me
Yeah.
to put it under president's report as your announcement?
But we already filled in the vacancies, remember?
No, but she has to be reinstated to the board.
If
No, I'm
yes,
not talking
if she
about
wants
that.
to
If
come
she
back
wants
to the
to.
board, yes. If she wants to, yes.
And
So
we,
where would that fall?
Under filling the
under filling in the
vacancies.
vacancy.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
But
So
I'm
that's-
saying Anthony might want to do his report and say, we have 2 vacancies. You want to announce their resignation.
Yes, I will.
Where do you want to put that on the agenda? Oh, sorry.
No, I keep doing
You're
that.
lying to yourself.
Right there on president's report, just put it, or maybe under announcements, right at the top, see? We don't have board member announcements?
Yeah, we do.
Oh, it is below, it's below, yeah. So we can announce it anywhere between 5 or 6.
Right here?
Mhm.
Oh, you'll announce it then.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
So do you
And
need
then
me
the
to put it
vacancies,
physically or no?
No, it's just an announcement.
Okay.
And then the filling the vacancies is coming right up after that, right?
Yeah.
Right, need to go down a little bit and see?
Yeah, it'll be the, yeah, right there.
Oh,
number
okay,
down
go
now.
on, yeah, that'll be no problem. Okay, so, are there any other committees you're aware
Here's
of?
a question.
Do I step
Yes.
down now?
Oh,
As chair.
No, I was never the chair of arts and culture.
You can step down now.
Who's the
'cause
chair?
There's no chair. It's only 2
Michelle was
members.
our chair.
Karina and Jackie.
But it's a lot of work, and I can't take on more work right now. But there's-
So Karina is on the board, on the committee.
I am too.
You are.
okay, and,
But you want to remain on the board, but you don't, no?
No, no, no.
You want to be
I wanna
removed
step down.
completely?
okay.
Give somebody else.
So you want to be
opportunity.
removed, not step down? Because when you say step down, I thought you were the chair.
Oh,
Right.
Yeah, so you'd be
Okay, so
removed.
then that'll leave Karina by herself, and then we have to put 2 in arts and culture?
no.
I would like to be on the Arts and
Oh, and
Culture
Anita-
Committee.
Anita's already on it, huh?
Anita's there, yeah.
Okay, so there'll be just 1 then, and then we could put you if you want.
Right.
Okay, so I add a 1 right here.
So we would have to, I think
So
Anita
one for
did
land
say
use,
she
one
would
for
be
arts
the
and
chair,
culture.
right?
No, she
That-
did not.
She did not say that? I
No,
thought
we
she
didn't talk
said.
about, we didn't have that discussion.
So there'll be one for land use, 1 for arts and culture, 1 for ad hoc voter engagement committee.
Land use only needs a chair, right?
Yes.
Right.
Mhm. And it has to be a board member because we have
And
2
you're
stakeholders.
planning, right? You're in,
You see, I'm interested in the land use committee, but not as chair, at least.
The way the bylaw says is
It has to be
only
a
a
director.
board member,
only
like
a
a
director.
director, can be the chair. Meaning we have 2 stakeholders, but we're not allowed to have them chair our meeting.
Try it. See if you like it. I mean, if not, you can always,
Yeah, you have 2 people to help you.
You have $1,500.
Basically, what you would end up doing is if you can't do all of the physical agenda settings and all that stuff,
We'll
because
help
you're
you.
too
I'll
busy,
help you.
we'll help you do that, or anybody can help you
Like if
do that.
somebody reaches out to you and says, I'd like to know about the project going on here in Rose Hill and da-da-da-da-da-da, we'll help you. You can email the exec board and
We're
say,
the
hey,
executive board.
how
we
do
can
I
help you.
word this? This organization reached out to me, but how do I word it on the agenda? And we can help you,
Okay.
And because you're doing the planning already in your school, right?
Also,
That would
Miguel
be good, city planning.
has land use stuff, agendas already uploaded to.
Oh, I could give you the template, yeah. I'll send you the
Website,
template.
so you can always see how he did things.
Yeah.
Just to kind of.
Miguel was very thorough.
That's what I did when I went in Sports and Rec. I looked at all the past events that they had just to see what am I doing.
And George Garcia
Annuals
is
and-
pretty
Yeah.
good with parliamentarian, so he would be able to help you. Like if someone's speaking over their 2 minutes, you know, he can help you say, okay, you're over your 2 minutes, time, you know, because that's the first thing when you're a chair, you're nervous. You don't know how to tell that committee member, time, you know, moving along, you know. Just simple stuff like that, you know.
I nominate you. I think that you would be great. You're already working in that aspect for your own, you know.
Oh, you are?
Yeah, she's working in that city
In
plan.
school.
That's cool, so-
That's a foot in the door.
That's right, and then you
Hands-on
put that on
training.
your resume, they're gonna say, really, you were a chair of that committee, and that could take you places.
Your experience.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
No pushing.
Yeah,
That happens not today anyways, it happens.
That happens on the
Yes.
6th, but I mean, keep in mind that that would be.
I will. I'll look
So
over
be-
Miguel's work.
Okay, so item 12 is closed. Before we adjourn, is there anything else that might be on your mind that we're
Yes.
sort of overlooking?
Yeah.
Oh,
I have a whole
here's the monthly report for June.
I have a whole stack of.
July is not ready until August, the end of August, okay?
This
What it is,
This is July.
Yeah, I'm sorry, the August is not ready till the end of August. Pass it down. I'm giving it to you now because you guys should know that treasurer doesn't have to be there for you guys to move it forward.
Right.
You guys
Yeah,
need
as
to
long
know
as it's
that
on the agenda, right.
Yeah, you
Anyone
guys-
anyone can call the item.
this little format, I didn't create. This
It's
is
coming directly from
generated from
What's the
NC funding. What it is, we go on there and we put the stuff and they do it, yeah. I put all the expenses and they generate this. This is what they generate and this is what they calculate.
Yeah.
Just so you guys can have a copy of the July, because I don't have the August yet. Oh, and I didn't even give you guys a copy of the budget, what we were talking about. I gotta give you guys that.
Yeah,
Pass it down. That's what I was projecting earlier, I should have given it to you guys earlier, so you guys can know what we're looking at.
I have a
Sorry.
question though. So the actually when we do put up on the board and then so we would have to put in their commitments of 1,000, right? For the Loomis House, Shakespeare, since we voted on that as board, right?
Talking about
Oh,
my
the limit for when you
board
fill out
vote?
the form? When you fill out
No,
the form?
like right here. So when it's projected against the thing, we need to at least show that we in the NPG.
It comes out of your right, empty
Yeah.
form.
So we should put 1,000 there because we already committed 1,000 to.
Oh, right here.
Yes.
You're talking about commitment right here would
That'll
be,
to the Shakespeare.
Yeah, so that they don't say, well, you have 3,500 or whatever it might be. Yeah. And that's yeah, so it's already committed. We did vote on that.
and let me calculate it going this way, because I don't know why it went that way up. Let me see what you're saying.
All right.
Is that right?
It's adding it.
That's 2,500, no, it's not.
Oh, I know why, I'm sorry.
You can put it in the
Yeah, I'm
parentheses.
sorry, I didn't put
The
minus 1,000. I know, it's been a long evening. There we go.
Yeah. that's
So
what
that
it's-
amount right there is committed, because that's the
So-
column that I have it
When
under.
we do discuss the
Yeah.
NPG for Wilson, we'll see that we have 1,000 there.
Yes.
The board members can be able to see that and say.
And I'll make copies for this and this will be projected. Yeah.
And those 1,500 is what, for Troy?
Yes.
Yeah,
Okay.
he already got paid?
Oh, okay, that's the red means it's
Yeah.
paid already?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, we do have money saved up, look at the elections category over here.
Wow, seriously?
Yeah.
Seriously? Another
so-
year?
Okay.
So is there anything else before we adjourn, anything else?
Yes. In 2015, I'm bringing it back.
I don't think
would
I
like
was
to
here.
talk about that.
I wasn't here.
That we had discussion and possible action regarding establishment of an ad hoc committee to gather information and concerns, review, discuss, and propose resolutions for the board's consideration on issues related to our senior citizens of the Alley 32 NC area. Whatever happened to that?
We were supposed to create a senior citizens,
Ad hoc committee,
like
whatever
that.
happened to that?
we never, I wasn't the president back then, but I think Marlene was supposed to create a committee. Wasn't she the president in 2015?
Yeah.
Yeah. So she never established a,
So can we
Committee.
bring that back? Can we bring that
it would
back?
be an ad hoc committee dealing with senior citizens' concerns or issues or.
How do we put that back on our
If we can
agenda?
get them back
You
into
just,
the.
you just asked right now, which would be future agenda items. It's
Yes.
not on there, but you want, okay, what did you want to name it, Cynthia? Senior, what is it called, senior citizen something?
Can we get a copy of
Gosh,
that?
it's like an ad hoc committee.
Okay,
What will we write it? Ad hoc committee,
okay, and the previous board.
Discussion of
voted?
possible action that LE 32 create an ad hoc senior committee and allocate 1,500.
Okay, but did
Like
the
that.
board vote on that, or what is it?
yeah, it was voted on, it was 900, it was passed, but nothing ever happened with it.
So then what we could do is create the committee and just appoint senior citizens on it,
That's-
or.
What senior
any board
citizens do we
directors.
have?
Any board directors that want to be on it, doesn't have to be just a senior
Yeah.
citizen.
And we would just reaffirm the board's position. You said it happened in 2015, but as a body, LA 32 still took their action, and we're
Right,
just trying to
and-
follow up on
And the
it.
same thing like we did with the 15 to the 21, it should be reheard
Yes.
again, and
Well, we just reaffirm it. It
Reaffirm.
doesn't mean like we have
we're
to,
not going to re-vote again.
not really, because the board already voted.
Right.
So we're gonna have to reaffirm that ad hoc committee, and what do we want to call it? Senior what? Senior issues?
Ad hoc senior committee.
It's senior committee.
That's what it was when
What
Tom
is
was
the word-
doing
Can I
it.
see the wording on that?
Yeah, it's actually very long when I just read it to you. So read my page.
The way when Tom was it just said that LE 32 create an ad hoc senior committee and allocate 1,500.
Issues related to senior citizens and LA 32, okay, resolution. Okay, regarding the establishment of an ad hoc committee. Okay, so we would call it the ad hoc.
The LA
the
32
LA 32
NC
Ad hoc senior committee.
senior
Yeah, senior
committee.
committee, like I said.
Okay,
Yeah.
sounds good.
Okay, so what we'll do is,
Senior committee sounds
okay, so if the board took an
Senior
action on that,
concern committee?
and,
But we were not, it was in our term in 2015.
no, it was.
No, but we still took a
The board took a
vote. The
vote.
board,
We have to look for the board vote
it's
to
right
confirm
here.
that. No, the actual board vote signed by the two
Oh,
people.
okay.
Well, we could
Like,
do.
I know that your notes have it, but let me look for the board vote. If
want
not,
me to
look for
give
it
you
on
the
the
date?
YouTube, look on the YouTube, the link that we actually, what was the count? Because we're gonna need that for the records. And if I was still here in 2015,
Yeah.
then I probably still have it, but then again, Roland had the book for a while, and it went from Roland to, I forgot who it was. So the book is now sitting at the senior center, so we have to look for
What's the
that. We have to look for that,
Oh,
the records
Of all the records.
of all the board votes.
Okay, there's
We have two
another
of them, we
one.
have them for funding and non-funding.
There's another one I want to talk about.
Yes,
Discussion and possible action, motion that LA 32 NC provide a movie night at Rose Hills. Whatever happened to that? Did you ever have a movie night there?
they have,
Are you having one this time?
no.
You should have one this time.
When this time, like soon?
Well, because you're having one September
not-
30th
it's
park
not
though.
me.
with ad hoc,
I'm
Well,
having,
that would have to go to a committee. That was,
Yeah.
Victor made that motion, then give it to outreach. It was Victor when he was in outreach,
it says
or was he in sports?
you withdrew it. You were the maker of the motion.
Yeah, because it was already, because it passed the date and no one ever voted for it. In other words, we never heard it, and when it got to that date, it already had passed the date, and we said, well, what's the point? But, yeah, you're right,
Okay,
maybe.
so then we should bring it to membership and outreach. I'm just going through stuff that we
That's
actually
fine.
talked about and didn't do anything on it.
So then who's gonna email membership and outreach?
I'm actually one of the board members.
Okay, would it be that or Sports and Rec? To have a movie, to host a movie at this park?
probably outreach.
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 Okay.
Because outreach has done it before, when Gama, Jenny, and I were in
You're
outreach.
bringing people
We
in
used to, we used to do a movie, we did the movie at Rosso, remember?
Yes.
We
I
did the
remember.
Frozen, it was outreach
In the
that
back
did it.
park, in the back
Yeah.
park.
In that facility, that place.
We also had the request of the update on the AC status at Rose Hills, and I don't know whatever happened with that. They heard it at Sports and Rec Committee on 10/15/15, and it was unanimous 3-0.
That would be a follow-up with the council member's office, because if the board voted on it, then there would be a follow-up with.
It was a letter be sent to Recreation Parks Commissioners and council member. Did it ever happen?
I don't know, we have to ask Marlene.
These are things that were very important to our community, and we didn't
Mhm.
finish them. Okay, another one, did we ever do the letter of support for Soledad?
Soledad,
Soledad Enrichment Action, which was
I know
the
that is
SEA.
say it
Did we
there.
ever write them a letter? Because I know that we're waiting for us to write them a letter.
No, I never wrote a letter.
Can we
Okay.
go over the agenda?
The MPG
Do you
process,
want me to project it or you
the
want to?
MPG process
just
was
wondering.
started in
Go over it again, or
2015-16, and it
Everything's
was
done,
voted
Judge, your
2-0-0. And Budget and Finance did it. You had asked the last time, who's the one that started the MPG process? Well, we, Budget and Finance did in
Yes.
2015.
Yes, I remember that.
So in order for us to not do the MPG process, we would have to bring it back and we would have
Budget
to
and
cancel it, or we would have to,
The way I see it,
stop
like,
the
like, I
process.
guess we got.
because that was your concern. Well,
Right,
why are we
that guy,
doing it this way?
Paul from the Shakespeare, and even the Isaac who brought one today. I'm not saying it's bad because we're doing it, but I don't like it that they're sort of skipping one level, meaning the community's never heard of this, it's never been on no agendas, there's been no public comment, there's no committee recommendation, and all of a sudden Wilson wants to get like $900. I'm like, well, dude, I know the guy, but like, have you ever been to a meeting?
Right.
And the way I would like it is, even though they're following an MPG, which is a different funding format,
Right.
they should still get a recommendation from the committee. So this one that came possibly today, I would say should have gone through Education Committee or Sports and Rec. And it's not that they're spending the money out of Sports and Recs, it's still going through MPG, but at least we could show the public, look, some guy named Isaac came and he's asking us to give him baseballs and softballs. Sports and Recs heard this, meaning we put it on an agenda,
Yes.
which is one. We've allowed public comment even if there's none, and the committee formulated a recommendation. So I, as a person and even as president, would like that even the MPGs go through some committee, just so it follows the same process for everybody, because it seems to me unfair that you have to go through extra work when you want to have your basketball tournaments. And membership and outreach has to go through all this extra work when they got to do a movie night.
Understood,
But
Anthony,
some guy
but
turns
to
a
make
piece
a
of
long,
paper
to
and
make
they
a long
voting on it
discussion
next week?
short, I want to know, what do we do about it?
The
Do we
Budget
bring
and
it,
Finance Committee would have to say, we want to
reconsider?
restructure our neighborhood purposes grants.
No, it's not budget and finance, it's us executive committee.
It's
It's us?
executive, yes.
Well,
It's
who
not
did it
budget
last
and
time?
finance.
Who did it
The
last time?
last time was executive committee, which was when Marlene was still president. We voted that they would bring it to, they would email it or walk it into executive committee.
Oh.
So we, not just me,
The
we
executive-
could look at it before we tell the person it's a go. We have to review it, make sure it's filled out completely, all the forms
Yes,
are there, blah, blah, blah. Then once it's complete, then us executive officers would put it on the agenda.
Okay, so maybe I misunderstood. That vote tally that you
And the
put
reason-
came from executive committee?
And the reason why we,
No,
the
we
reason
heard it
why, the
twice.
reason why the executive board at that time didn't want it, we didn't want it to go to a
Committee.
committee because
Uh-huh.
we felt that was too long of exhausted process to go to a committee, not from the committee, go to
Go to
executive, not from executive, let's go to the general board, or da-da-da.
Well, the committees bring it here. So it's the, like, let's say this guy, or the Shakespeare guy, or this guy Isaac from Wilson.
So then that's why we do the evaluation, and the evaluation tells us, is the $1,000 we're giving you Shakespeare's only and just solely for 90032? No, it's for other people in other communities, then
No.
no. He should have been told, no,
Well,
because it's not for 900, and this money's only for 90032, only and solely
It's-
only for
Yeah, it's
us.
supposed to be, not supposed
It
to,
is,
but
it's for the
us,
schools, for
but
the
it's
teachers,
for our
for the communities.
stakeholders.
Yes.
Even
And
if he's living in another city and he comes to our meetings or he purchases something here, he's a stakeholder. So
Yes.
he's asking as such.
Which is benefiting our stakeholders because they can go to this play for free.
Right.
Right.
That's,
So,
that's,
okay.
that's what I see, as a benefit to us, even though
Right.
it's.
All right, so then we'll talk about that
So who's
later.
the one who made that recommendation through the MPG process?
In 2015, it was the Budget and Finance that came up with the process, but the
Okay.
following, one of these other agendas,
Yeah.
we revisited it again
At the executive
at the
committee?
executive level, and then that's when we approved it and said,
Okay.
because those were suggestions on how to do it.
So for that, do you think we should put it on next month's agenda so we can talk about it, or do you think the Budget and Finance Committee should
I think we
talk
should put
about
it on our
Ours?
future agenda for executive board, that's why I'm
Okay, so
asking
they'll
you.
put discussion,
MPG process.
yes.
Okay, the next one I
Uh,
want to know about, okay,
and-
so this one is okay, because this one I could give to membership and outreach again, and we could talk to
Okay,
Arten El Sereno about getting our brochures. 8 pages, full colored, 11 by 17 folded.
That's outreach.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying, I'm gonna take it back to outreach.
wow.
There was another one, I've been doing my homework, guys, I
I
wanna
see.
find out what's
I
happening
see.
with all of these things, because we keep getting all, well, you guys never do what we ask you, and you guys never follow up. Okay, that's something that we already looked at.
Mhm.
There's another one, let's see. Multnomah already got their sandbox?
That was funded some time
Yeah.
ago, right? Wasn't it?
That was 3 years ago,
Yeah, well,
2 years ago.
I mean, I haven't seen it. but
I
that was some time.
wanna go see the
We
sandbox.
were on the
That's why I
community
wanna know.
beacon, I think the community beacon put the page.
Yeah.
Okay, good.
There you go. Do you want me to email you this PDF copy tonight so you can have it?
Yes.
Anthony,
The
this-
agenda.
do you have a flash drive?
I didn't bring it.
Okay, I don't have an extra one, I'm sorry.
Oh, no, I was thinking something else. But yeah, they made these little wristbands that was a flash drive. Have you seen those?
No.
I thought they'd make good.
So
hard
right
stuff.
now, I gave Jackie already a copy, so she
Okay,
has
yeah,
it.
okay.
So there's 2 of us
Yeah,
that have
you
it,
just
not
email it
just
to
me.
the whole board, right?
Okay, yeah, but I'm just saying, there's 2 of us that have it, so there's no, like, funny business going on that, oh, I changed it, or she changed it, or
Okay,
whatever.
this is a recommendation.
So what I can do is, I'll go home, take off the
This is our
watermark,
evaluation form if you
take
want.
off the watermark
Oh,
that
yeah,
says
I see it, but we
draft,
used it.
Yeah.
and email it to the executive board. Do you want the document and PDF?
To the whole
Do you want
So
me to
board.
those are the two things.
change it to
I wanna
PDF for you so you can send it to NC Support and everyone else?
Yeah.
So membership and outreach will.
I told you Joshua can help you install that program.
Yeah, okay.
Joshua said, tell Anthony to bring me his laptop.
Yeah.
I'll upgrade it, update it, and put that PDF program for you.
Okay, I have a question.
Yes, Jackie?
Okay, so actually I handed you my flash drive because I have the videos from the second meeting.
Oh, yeah.
Um,
Do you want me to transfer them and plug
I was
them?
gonna see if you could transfer them and then put it up. So what happened was my laptop is dead right now.
Okay, let me take that back then and
So
put the videos
I
up.
don't know if it happened because I was trying to transfer the files or what's going on, but as the person that's in charge of that, I think should I have to use my own laptop, my own computer to transfer the stuff, or what can I do?
Do we have an extra laptop?
What
We
is
have another
easier
laptop.
for me to use, because Michelle said something about, or somebody said something about, if something happens and they
They have to
need
audit, they need to look
audit,
at
they're
the
gonna take
laptop.
my laptop from me, and I'm gonna be like,
No,
no, I
we
have
have
my
one.
work, I have my
You
personal stuff on there.
could,
You
you
can
have,
check one out.
Miguel Vargas has the hard drive. So we purposely got that hard
So I
drive.
can transfer that to the hard drive?
Yes, and Miguel has it, he just hasn't returned it back.
Okay, so it goes straight from there to the hard drive, not to my laptop?
Your
so it's an
laptop,
external hard
your
drive.
laptop is just to consolidate it into one, and then put it on YouTube, and then take it out of your laptop and leave the original footage in the hard drive. So Miguel has that, he has to give that back to us.
I can email him or text him, but I just need to know, there has to be an easier way to do this instead of me using.
And that's why we got the hard drive, because Miguel didn't want to check out a laptop. He goes, no. He had the Mac, and the Mac had the program to consolidate into one. Windows doesn't have it.
Right.
Trust me, Josh already
I have
looked at.
Windows.
Oh, you found one?
No, I.
He couldn't find anything
No,
on
I didn't
Windows.
find anything. My laptop is Windows, so I wouldn't be able
So,
to.
yeah,
Yeah.
Mac, yeah, it would be.
If you have a Mac, the Mac has the
And
program.
I don't have a Mac, I don't have access.
And Joshua, we have a Mac, so that's how we were able to
what I'm
do
trying
it.
to figure out, how do I do this is the easy thing to, so I don't have. to
Because
rely
the
on
original
you.
CD that came with the camcorder got scratched, and we weren't able to,
Play no more.
no.
So with the SD card, do you think that I'll be able to transfer, if it transferred to the SD card today, will I be able to just pop it into
Take
my
the SD
To your
Laptop?
laptop?
Put it in there.
Yeah, and then once you do it in
Do you
your
have the
laptop,
flash drive?
No, it's an SD card.
SD card.
I already
Oh,
put
from
SD
the
card in there
camera.
already
Oh.
tonight. But that's what
you
I'm
can put
saying.
it in your laptop, then once you get the hard drive, take all that out of your personal laptop into the hard drive, and then delete it out of your laptop.
That's what I don't wanna do, cause already laptop's messed up right now.
I know a good guy in Lincoln Heights, I'll take care of it, right on Beatty.
Okay,
Yeah.
fellow
I'll
colleagues, are we adjourning or what are we doing?
Well, was there anything else?
No, that was
I
it,
mean,
that's
after
it,
following up with
just-
some of them, so I'm just gonna put down for next month would be discussion of the MPG process. And I don't think we really need to change anything, but just send everyone at least to a committee. That's really all we need to do.
Executive committee, that's who it is.
It's us?
Yeah, it's us.
Okay.
I just want you to see what the option, what it looks like, because we have it. I don't know if you've ever seen it, the evaluation form.
We did
Yes,
it, we've done it in
yes.
the very beginning.
Yeah, so,
I have one of those, when we did the check
Yes.
this, check that. blah,
because you were questioning
Okay,
it, so I
okay, so
want to
but-
be able to discuss it so that
Okay,
all
but-
of your questions are answered.
Okay, so
Okay.
I have a question then. So you said put it to executive committee.
Yes,
So that means,
it would be a future agenda item,
right,
that's
that
what we
means
were on.
instead of receiving this, which we did, we should put here, Woodrow Wilson High School coming to MPG requesting $924 so that it's on a paper. That's what I'm trying to say, because the stakeholders have never seen this.
But it's on my agenda. I put it on my agenda.
No, I'm saying the
Oh, yeah.
MPGs.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
So if you say it's the executive committee, yes, they turned this in today because we got
Oh,
it.
I see what you're saying, yeah, you're right.
But the public
But
has never
stop
seen
what
this.
you're saying,
Yeah.
because that's not
I'm
on
trying to
our
put it-
agenda, we can't discuss it, that's why I want you to put it on the future agenda for
Right,
next
so I put
month.
it, discussion of MPG
Okay, so
process.
don't talk about it no more, because it's not on our agenda.
No, I know what you're saying.
I'm trying to have
You
the
don't
public-
want, you don't want it to just appear here tonight and the public's like,
Never see it.
it was never there.
This,
Yeah.
Never saw
right,
it.
right, so this would have to
Shouldn't
be
be
here.
treated, so that shouldn't be, that MPG shouldn't be treated like an initiative where they just walk in and say, here, put it on your agenda like the way we've been doing it.
Yes, that's the
You
part.
want it to be seen on the executive agenda, so
Or
if
any
somebody
other
wants to come
committee.
in.
Yes, yes.
Well, not other
exactly.
committee, just on the
No.
executive
Okay, so
agenda.
they'll come.
MPGs are under
Okay.
the jurisdiction of
That's
the
what I'm trying to
executive
say,
board.
so that at
I
least
see.
the stakeholders can say, hey, they're gonna spend money for.
And
I don't think we need to discuss that, we can just agree to say that, that's an operational process, that's
But
a,
he had questions about it and he was concerned and so I told him we should have a small discussion about what
Yeah.
it looks like, how it works.
okay.
And that way it's in a public
Yes,
meeting
Mhm.
and his questions are answered.
Right,
so
and
that-
these things we did for proposal evaluation form for
Yes, we have.
the football and cheer.
Yeah,
They
let's-
take long,
This is what I saw.
they
That's
take
what we
long.
did when we
Yeah.
first
We
came in.
have blank copies of those, they take long.
Yep.
But I'm just saying that, I remember doing one of these before, so I understand what that is about.
Isn't there a way that executive board can meet with those people as well and not do it at the general board meeting? So that way we have,
The evaluation,
yeah.
I think it's for the whole board to
It's
vote
for
on the
the whole board to
evaluation.
ask questions.
Yeah, but we could bring it as a recommendation to the board
Yes,
and then we
definitely.
could
If it's
discuss
somebody we
it.
don't know who they are and they're coming out of the blue, right?
Because that would bring it to a committee, and we would have a meeting for solely that, and then it would go to recommendation to the general board.
Oh, can you put on the agenda next month, somebody send an email that they would like us to participate with the three NCs around here to do some, I mean, I'm obviously, I already have my set of mind on what I think of it, but just to give them the fair benefit that he did reach out to us, put it on the executive agenda so we can discuss it and see if it even goes to the general board. Did you see that email?
Yeah, it's this one. This
Kim something?
Oh, no, I don't.
Yeah, he wants us
Oh, that
to,
guy.
he wants it, no, not that guy. Kim, his name's Kim, wants us to join other NCs to do that event in Lincoln
Is-
Heights.
Yeah, it's
That-
Lincoln Heights, Boyle Heights, it would be LA 32, all of us would have one big event, and we would all be represented.
Okay, well, that.
But
I think
obviously it
that
wouldn't
goes to
happen in
Sports
our-
and
it wouldn't-
Recreation Committee.
No,
That thing, that flyer you just showed me?
he came to us yesterday.
Oh, he did?
Yes, he did. He came to us yesterday to ask us to put it on our next agenda, but I think it's
Next
supposed to be sports and
General board agenda?
membership and outreach.
Okay,
There you go, one of
so
those
right,
two.
I believe it should be a sports and rec committee.
Yeah, so I didn't know where to send him, and I was gonna communicate
Give
with
Jackie
him,
the
so it would be.
He emailed and I responded, he was supposed to show up at the meeting today, but he didn't.
Oh, then there you go.
Okay.
Yeah, you did look, she did look
But I
at your
did
email.
I,
Spoke to the guy?
That's Jackie telling her right there, yeah, come to my meeting, and he didn't.
and I did, speak with him last year, cause he showed up at the,
I remember that
outreach-
flyer.
What was it, the second, or the,
It's like a fitness little challenge, huh?
yeah, but it's a
So he obviously
lot
didn't
of
come to
money.
your meeting, so he's not interested.
But he went to membership and outreach, right?
Yeah, he went to membership and
Oh,
outreach
oh,
yesterday.
then there you
Yesterday.
go.
So he's looking
So
for
when
funding,
you're-
which is very expensive, like 3,000.
Well, I mean,
4,500.
even-
No, but it's not only from us, it's gonna be partial
Like for
from all the different, NCs
Neighborhood
are going
council,
to
correct.
contribute.
Yeah, and I
Large
think
event.
whether we agree with him or not, give him the benefit of the doubt to be heard, whether,
Yes. Well,
whatever level, so
sure.
like that, he knows that we gave him that chance, so, are you guys gonna move something forward?
The
We,
mem- meeting your
we
committee
weren't able to
membership and
talk to him yesterday, we had to tell him just speak at public comment, and then we would agendize him for next month.
Cause he was,
outreach. But through who?
Well, we were gonna do it as
Sports,
membership and outreach.
Oh, you didn't have him on the agenda, he just showed up
Yeah, he
and
just
said,
showed
put me
up.
on the agenda, and you guys go, we can, now you have to wait
Yeah,
till next month.
Okay.
Oh,
Which-
okay, I see.
so I was gonna communicate with him
Yes.
through email or phone calls and
I
talk
see.
to him about what the whole process is gonna look like, and then we would decide where it
Yeah.
goes. Because I told him, I go, I don't think it's a membership and
yeah,
outreach.
because he wanted to participate in our family
Well, it
recreation.
could be an outreach, it doesn't have to be always sports and
That's why I
rec.
think it could be outreach, because it's gonna be several.
You're bringing the community together.
Yeah, it
It's
doesn't
gonna
always
be
have to be
several,
sports and rec, huh,
NCs
Jackie?
working
Huh?
together.
Yeah, give me more work.
I'm just
Well,
kidding.
I think that we
Just
should
make
be
sure to
membership.
put it back on membership and outreach committee next month, and
No.
then the committee can formulate a recommendation, just follow the
Yeah, so
process
then you
like
don't have to
always.
do it through executive board, then.
Yeah.
We'll just do it through.
Oh, there you go, okay.
I'm gonna put a star right here so I don't
Yeah,
forget.
yeah, yeah, membership.
Okay, Okay, so is there anything else in closing before, for our meeting tonight?
Yeah, I just want to know, what do you guys feel, how do you feel about this flyer? 'Cause I want to get it to production. I know I should ask my.
No,
ad hoc
that's
committee.
pretty good, I'm glad you mentioned that. I
But,
was gonna go today, but I got off work early, as you can see, I still have my uniform on, and my shirt, it's not uniform.
We had a meeting today?
What I wanna do
No,
is
no,
see
no,
if it's
not a
okay.
What is he talking about? We're supposed to go there today?
No,
What meeting for that?
Meaning I was supposed to go to Charlie's Trio.
Oh, for
and-
what?
And order the food for this event. What I was thinking about doing is maybe asking Charlie's Trio to say, hey, you know what, you've been charging $350, charge us $200, or maybe even nothing. And then putting
Their
catering
logo?
sponsored by Charlie's Trio on there.
That'd be great.
Yeah.
So Anthony's been gracious about helping since I lost Marcia.
So, did you need this, or can I take it?
You can take it,
I'll go
but
visit
it's-
Charlie's Trio tomorrow, and then I'll say.
Their
hey, you know
logo
what?
would go in the bottom.
Yeah.
Well, you lost
like your-
Marcia, but I've
would you
already
like
been
your logo
on
on here
the
and then say,
agenda,
okay,
but
then we
like I
say
said, I never heard
$200,
anything about
that's
anybody
no money.
meeting.
Yeah, we'll get together. It's,
Can I-
I've been kind
Can I
of,
hold on to this?
yeah.
Okay, cool. I know
But it's
do
not to
this.
finalize.
No, exactly. I
Wait,
know
let me
that-
take a picture of what she put in the back. Oh wait, I can't even do nothing on my computer, never mind.
Well, you can take a picture though, can't you, of your phone?
Yeah, but the flyer's on my laptop.
I told you, bring it to Josh. Josh can look at your computers.
Oh, the flyer. Okay, well,
My
I'll
laptop's
give this
I
to
told
Bonnie
you,
by
Anthony,
Friday.
bring your laptop
Yeah.
too. Josh can.
I just want to show
stand
this to the Charlie's Trio people and say,
Oh,
hey,
yeah,
look,
yeah.
you know, if
Yeah,
you
you
want to
need
charge
it
us,
because they're gonna
yeah,
wanna
if you
know
want
what
to charge
you're
us
talking about.
$350, okay, but if you don't want to
And
charge
then
us
just a
nothing,
picture in the back, just in
we'll
case I get to work.
put your logo right here on the bottom down there, you know, catering sponsored or provided by Charlie's Trio. Okay.
We're
Any-
pretty
anything
much
else?
done,
Yeah.
Are we,
A motion to
ready
adjourn?
Motion to
Yes.
adjourn?
Put down 9:45.
I will be emailing the entire executive board that agenda. Would you like me to
9:46?
change it to PDF for you, Anthony?
Yes, do that.
Okay,
Yeah,
I'm
for-
sorry.
I'll send it to you tonight.
I motion, who's second?
Wait,
Okay.
second.
Thank you,
Yeah.
second.
You should see, everybody tells me, oh, and I said, this is Russian. It's
outside,
from ICE,
Yes.
and they, yeah.
You sent it.
I have to buy more, okay?
Send it?
No,
Oh, gosh, I have
Oh,
all
they
these
got Paul
papers.
Macri.
I have to
Oh,
buy,
okay.
I have to buy more, okay? Because they're really good quality. They don't make my finger ring, and they don't hurt, and they don't fall off, and they don't,
Yeah, this is.
Can we bring it in, like, bring it in?
yeah.
Stephanie?
Yeah, I always get that at work, because I do cashiering. So
Cynthia,
when I'm
bring
giving
it in.
people their
What's that,
change,
what's that?
they're
Like
like,
greens together, it's just a lot
yeah,
of green.
I love it.
Oh,
And they always
okay.
like-
What do you
and they
mean
always
bring
tell
it
me,
in? Bring what? I got everything in
Yeah.
this.
Oh, yeah.
We're bringing it in.
Oh.
All right, ready?
Alright.
On top. Hey,
Come on, Kimmy.
I got little arms.
Alright, go LA 32.
LA,
Alright, bye guys.
Alright,
Bye,
bye.
Stephanie.
Yeah.
I'll see you guys on
Cynthia, I got
See you
paper and
Wednesday.
pen for you, okay?
Awesome.
Don't leave, I got paper and ink.
my gosh,
Lot of paper
Anthony,
for
so
you.
you're gonna go take care of that with that
You
lady,
just got
right?
I'm gonna go there actually right now, I'm gonna
Those
pick
are
up
all
one
right
guy
now.
and,
Call me,
yes, I
please.
gotta go help the lady Yvonne.
Can't
All
wait.
right.
And I don't have her
Michelle,
number,
can you give me a ride or do I need to call my
hopefully
daughter?
she calls me. Thank
Yeah,
you, Michelle, thank you.
Thank you, Michelle.
just make sure you have someone at your house to, they're
just
they're
got
four
eaten up.
big heavy
From where,
boxes.
here?
Yeah. Look at all her legs.
Have you been outside? Did you go
Been
outside?
right there where the kitty was.
Oh, yeah, she got bit by the cat. The cat bit her, said, I don't like you, go home.
Oh, no, you just pull your car up and it opens.
They're fleas.
Anthony, do you want to take the remainder of the pizza?
Yeah, sure.
It's the cheese fell off one when I tried to get it up,
No problem.
but
Oh, I
it's,
didn't get a
Did you
piece.
put stop on the camcorder, Jackie?
oh, whoops.
I need to actually go help the lady around, Yvonne.
All right, thank you.
Bye-bye, good night.
Good night.
Jackie,
Do you
I
want
didn't
me
get a
to
piece of
take it just
pizza.
for tonight?